What's up, everybody? Happy Friday. Happy back to the Upside Down Rewatch. We are talking about Stranger Things Season 2, Episode 9, the finale of the season. It has been a journey to get here. I know the guy, we know all about that one episode. So before I bring the guys in here, please do me a favor, hit that like button, subscribe to the channel, and share out the stream if you can. Most appreciative to you all. Let's bring everybody in. Hello, everybody. Happy Friday.
Stupid yet.
Hello.
Hello.
Those damn emus.
I know.
Damn emus. What's going on, guys? Happy Friday. We're here. Season finale.
We made it.
We made it.
Did it, everyone.
I know. Wow. And
Feels
Tooney's
good.
probably asleep. There is a poll going on. Tooney was supposed to join us tonight, but he is also in, I think, UK time, which is not the right time. And he probably fell asleep, which I knew he was looking forward to this, but maybe he'll pop in. We'll see. Okay. Everybody's so excited.
I'll check my phone and everything. Yeah, it's
Okay.
fun
All right.
watching.
I was just looking up to see what the average rating for this episode was, and
Yeah.
it's interesting in a good way.
Oh, there's also a super chat goal. Obviously, I'm always appreciative of anybody who drops super chats. If I do hit it, I do have some Stranger Things jokes we will read at the end of the stream. Are they funny? I'm going to let the audience be the judge of that one as I was looking through them. So that is set. But again, I'm also grateful that you guys are always here. Let's go through the chat real quick, and then we'll kind of get started. Cinevere's Fish here for roll call. Welcome. Piranha Pout, I'm here tonight. How you doing? I'm doing greatly. I love compliments. Thank you. Sorry, Niet stream kept messing me up. Checking. Poor Niet, man. I hope he makes it from down under. Jake is here as well. Hey, peeps. Raylan
Down under.
Givens liked and subbed. Thank you, Raylan. Thank you for being here. I like us. Happy good evening, Demi dudes.
Demi dudes.
You know,
Dude.
it's like a demidog, but it's a demogorgon, but it's a dog. I'm not helping, am I?
How is that relevant? Quote proper.
I'm signing executive order that there will be no more seasons of Stranger Things after the upcoming season. It's actually not true. They are getting an animation spinoff unless you write a new executive order.
Yeah. Are we counting that one, though? Or
they said there wasn't ever going to be spinoffs or addition to it, and that technically is a spinoff. Jake, I got to hear these jokes. Okay. Well, you hit one of them. Thanks, Jake, for that. Let's start the evening fresh with Toxic's favorite clip.
Afternoon, ladies.
Afternoon, Billy.
Take the new suit, Mrs. Wheeler.
Thank you.
Oh yeah.
So actually,
why? Why?
I'll actually do the same thing on my stream once I am monetized. So if you want, fine compliments like Billy gives Mrs. Wheeler, by all means,
So
donate.
wait, pay you to compliment the person who super chatted.
Yeah, while I'm shirtless, because in order for me to be shirtless on stream, I have to hit a tier goal. But then I give you compliments while being shirtless on stream. So
Dear God.
I'm gonna have to.
I want to give back. I
budget
want to
and
give back.
permission.
It's the age-old profession. How do you want to make money? Take your clothes off.
Yeah. Listen, my band manager told me well. Take your shirt off, man.
Kind of teetered with the idea of potentially doing maybe throughout the season until we get the finale, of doing like a tier thing. If I hit it, like collectively, the streams, dressing up as Robin in the little sailor.
Oh, okay. And that's just the Hawaii outfit.
Scoop Ahoy outfit.
Yeah.
It is, yeah.
Okay, so so do I have to wear like the Steve outfit as well?
If you want to, but I thought if what we would do starting with season 3 is each episode we'll set an overall goal for like the first 8 episodes, because it's a first 7 episodes. If that tier is hit for the finale for season 3, I'll dress up as Robin for Scoop Ahoy. So I'll figure it out. We'll see. Nick, but not me. Jake, Nick, without me.
Right,
Okay.
right, Jake? Yeah.
Yeah, see? Priorities
Well,
here.
Blue can be
Really good.
in the Scoops Ahoy outfit as well with me.
Yes, I will.
We'll be like Steve and Dusty.
We'll
Oh,
figure
yeah.
out a number to hit that way. Because
See, you
again,
could
it'll
do it.
spread,
Oh, yeah.
Oh, I'm
spread
jealous.
amongst it so that
You
I
see
can
his hair,
buy
too.
your costume for you, Nick, too. So you
I
don't
can
have to
attest
do
for a
True.
fact, personally, that Blue looks amazing in a sailor's outfit.
Telling you. It's like just like Dusty. I can't talk to women. No women like me. So we get so much in common.
it.
Gotta get that
Thank you,
hairspray.
Cineverse Fish,
Probably good
for
to
the
you.
$5. for
I'll
the
be your
joke.
wingman, Blue. Don't worry about it.
I haven't played this clip in a while. Thank you, Sketch.
It's basically an intergalactic invasion into this space through people. I'm telling you, it's what we're dealing with. I'll just say it, make fun of me all you want, but everyone already innately knows this. Our Janet is a goddamn demon.
Nice.
Hi, Rachel. Welcome. We'll figure it out. We'll figure it out backstage, and then I'll let everybody know. But I think that would be kind of fun. That way, the season finale, or the other costume I saw was a Demigorgon, but my face would be completely like unless I cut it out and just paint my. But is that black facing? If I paint my face like a red brown?
Well, you're
Remember-
Arab, aren't you? Aren't you
I
Arabian
am.
of some kind? So,
Yeah. So do I get away with it?
yeah, I think so.
Yeah, you should be fine, honestly.
You should be fine.
Okay.
Remember that night a couple years ago? Somebody had like a Demogorgon outfit, and it was like disturbingly. It was like practical, and they kept with the jaw.
Yeah,
of both men.
and realistic
Yeah.
with
Yeah.
the
I gotta look that
Yeah.
up.
You know, the last MTV Movie Awards that I actually saw was like 2017, and it
They're
was
still going.
in 2017 they were. I don't know if they still are, but 2017 they had this whole thing where Barb, or the actress that played Barb, was like down in the upside down, hanging out with the Demogorgon that killed her, and she was just like hanging out with him like it was her boyfriend or whatever. So that was pretty funny.
Yeah, I like that one.
I am excited to see as things heat up for season 5. I know we should be getting some news during Memorial Weekend. I'm hoping we get a trailer that we get to talk about soon. Actually, I'm hoping we get a trailer soon so that we can do a trailer and an episode. So that way we can
That's a
kind
good
of
idea.
keep season finales as like one episode
Okay.
thing.
I-
So,
I'm dope and hype for a trailer, but I don't want a trailer that's going to give away the entire season
Yeah.
or
Yeah.
show.
they're
You know
really
what?
good at not usually giving away much with their trailers, though.
You're right. I mean, it's with shows, it's a little different, but like you've seen plenty of trailers where they give away the entire freaking movie. So like The
Yeah.
Accountant 2, like I just reviewed that with Northern English Bastard, and like I knew the whole movie just from watching the 2 trailers. So
Pretty much.
That sucks. I'm excited I'm seeing Thunderbolts Sunday, and I'm seeing Clown in a Cornfield tomorrow.
Nice.
Which,
Nice.
okay, listen, I know we're a Stranger Things stream, but I have to get this off my chest. I have to
Do
get
it.
this off my chest.
Mhm.
do it.
I read the book Clown in a Cornfield. I read it in 2 days,
Oh wow.
Nice.
and 3 times they mentioned the town that the incident is taking place is called Kettle Springs.
Mhm.
3 times it was make Kettle Springs great again. And it's supposed to be that the older generation just, wants to make it great again and doesn't care about the younger generation and how woke they are and all this stuff. And I was
Yeah.
like, what the fuck am I reading? And there are 2 main characters in this book. One is like the hillbilly kind of hick kid who at the end of the day kind of saves everyone because he has guns. Okay. I'm like, okay, that makes sense. And then the other kid is like this jock who's like handsome and all the girls want him. And he's got like a girlfriend in the beginning of this book. And he's like kind of interested in the main character. And spoilers, I don't know if they're going to put this in the movie, but towards the end of all the event that happened, the 2 boys make out.
Bruh.
And I was like, and mind you, this is not like halfway through the book. This is like the end of the book. The end of it doesn't spoil like what's going on. And I'm like, what the fuck is this? So I will be curious to see how the movie adapts to it.
Yeah.
Because it
Interesting.
just didn't fit. It didn't fit. It didn't fit with the characters. Like it doesn't, like you don't see this coming. So it doesn't fit. So maybe hey, tensions are high, clowns are killing you. Why not? I guess grab the nearest dude you can.
My God.
You know what?
My God.
All right, fuck it.
So It's a very interesting story, not what I was expecting. So we'll get into it. Okay, let's get into Stranger Things. Sorry.
Here, I shared
We
the screen
are-
on the screen. Yeah.
Sorry for delirium, but I had to get it out because I just finished the book today. I had to be like,
Been
somebody
thinking about
please-
this all afternoon. Needs
I
to
have been.
full of
I'm like,
emotion
what?
right now.
Why am I reading a book for adolescents to adults that has so much like TDS in it? And I just want to read about slasher clowns, but we are here now.
When did this book come out?
That's a good question. Clown in a cornfield.
See, that's a funny thing because like Stephen King and his later works, which are
2020.
actually his later
Oh,
works, which are actually
yeah.
pretty good. He injects so
Kinda
much
makes sense.
yes into his books in the last 5 years.
Yeah.
It's almost unreadable. It pulls you right out of the story because it's just Stephen King, virtue signaling and stuff, and it's really bad. Which is funny too because in my book, I actually do make because it's set in 2017, and I actually do make like a joke because the main character has just gotten out of prison, and he makes a joke like, I get out of prison and there's a reality celeb in the White House. So what do you want me to do? But he doesn't say it in like a malicious way. He's just saying it like, that's how weird it is to get out of prison after 5 years or whatever. So it's just like, dude, this, I love Stephen King to death, but all of his newer stuff, even the really, really good stuff, is tainted because he puts so much TDS shit in there.
It's just it doesn't make sense for the story, and I can understand the whole plot premise is basically the older generation of the town wants it to stay alive and be the little mom and pop main street kind of thing, and they don't like these kids that are this new generation that are always on their phones, always like pulling pranks and stuff. Like you could have a good story and then you insert this stuff and it just took me out of it. I was just like, what is going on? But
Well,
I
my
digress.
older brother
There's
did tell me.
sequels.
Yeah, my older brother did tell me one thing. He said that in a lot of 70s novels and things like that, they had a lot of people like making fun of Carter and like making Mr. Peanut jokes and things like that. So, and I'm sure that that's probably true, but I feel like it's not the same thing as the TDS people.
There are 2 sequels to this book.
Oh wow.
Interesting.
Damn.
And it's came out in
Damn.
2020 already.
Yeah, there's the
Jesus.
second one, Friendo Lives, and then the third one, The Church of Friendo. And I almost want to continue this just to see the craziness that's in this. I'm still excited to go see the movie. Because I'm intrigued to see how this is going to play out in theaters. I'm hoping it'll just be a fun slasher clown movie, especially since we're seeing it in a drive-in. But yeah, I just needed to vent about this book to somebody. So I'm sorry for derailing the Stranger Things things. Okay, we'll get into it. All right, chapter 9. We are in chapter 9. The Gate serves as the season finale for Stranger Things season 2, wrapping up the central conflicts involving the Mind Flayer, the Demodogs, and the emotional arcs of all our characters. We're back in Hawkins, right? As always, November 1984. The episode focuses on 11 reuniting with her friends to close the gate to the Upside Down. Exorcising. It's not exercising.
Yeah.
Exorcism.
You're
but-
right.
Exercising.
Yeah.
I have
That's the-
exercised the demon.
So you can exercise or exercise the demon. Okay. The Mind Flayer from Will. And restoring a sense of normalcy. The episode balances intense action, emotional resolution. So we are here. Let me pull it up. And we will get started, folks. And
Oh, I just realized, Naughty, you don't know where that quote's from that I just did.
no, I don't. What is it? Where is it from?
Ace Ventura.
Oh, I've never seen it.
Oh wow.
Dear
Never seen
God.
it.
Wow. It's
I
down
know.
below. It's down below in the thing if you want to pull it up real quick.
It's this one, right?
Yes! Yes!
Yep.
Oh,
Yep.
yeah! Can you feel that, buddy? Huh? Huh? Huh?
I have exorcised the demons.
Are you going to have this on your Masculine Mondays?
It's
I might have to do this, honestly. Like, it is such a good movie. Like, and
Would it hold up for me, though?
Yeah.
Well,
yeah,
oh,
it will.
100%.
Oh, yeah.
For you,
100%.
yes. Obviously, for like the past 10 years now.
You would get a kick out of this one.
Yeah.
Blue. Thanks, Blue.
Like the comedy that goes into it. I mean, there's obviously like I don't want to ruin anything, but like there's obviously like it's around pets.
Like,
but,
is this one where I, roll a good fatty and then sit down and
Of course.
Yes.
Well,
Oh yeah.
and
definitely.
laugh
Okay.
100%.
Jim Carrey.
Yeah.
For the uninitiated, Nadia just watched Aliens for the first time last year, so
I did. I'm working my way. I'm working my way. And with Nick's stream, hopefully I will see some movies. I have not still haven't seen Dread yet. Still haven't seen a couple things, but
we listen and we don't judge. We listen and we don't judge.
I'm working my way. I'm working my way.
Yeah, Jake's got it right. It is an evergreen 10 out of 10, 100%.
Yeah.
Yep.
That's always
What
funny.
is it?
Funny
There's
Nadia.
never a bad time for it.
Well, evergreen something you can watch later on, Nadia. It's like it doesn't age. So like I said, bring my kid to see Alien for the first time. It's been 40 years, and it's just impactful after 40 years as it was back then. Versus like so many films, you can tell certain films show their age.
Yep.
Gotcha. Okay. Hey, I watch Friday quite a bit. I just pop it in a lot, so I get it. Friday
That's
is my
funny.
evergreen, then I guess.
Everyone's got
all right.
one.
Yeah, exactly. Everyone. So the episode opens up with Eleven's emotional reunion with Mike at the Byers residence after being separated for 353 days. Mike reveals he's called her every night via walkie, and Eleven admits that she's heard out, but it has been kept away by Hopper. And I actually really like this scene because Hopper's
it's
like,
good.
you can hate me, kid, if you want to, but I was doing what I had to protect her.
Yeah.
So let me get it. So it's a pretty they always do banger finales. They could have like 2 or 3 shitty episodes per season, and their finales always just like, I'm always at the edge of my seat, even knowing what's going to happen.
Yeah, facts.
It's not horror, so yeah, exactly. It's not horror, so I don't know it. Or horror. Thoughts on this initial reunion?
Yeah, I mean, you knew it was going to happen at some point, and it's like, what better episode to do it until the finale? And well, I think it was a little daring for them to kind of make her go off in her own arc, because obviously, like, we get that terrible 7th episode of when she goes off on her own and sees 8, isn't it right? Or is it 7? I forgot
8.
who it was. 8, yeah.
8.
Which was obviously like at least my least favorite episode of season 2. So
Definitely.
Won't get any
but-
argument from me there.
Yeah, and I mean it's like a good reunion. And obviously like they're still kids, so like the emotion that they both, evoke, especially Mike, like I like that part between him and Hopper right here that's about to happen, because it's he's still like the chief of police, right? So and like you get this kid that's just like punching him. Obviously, like it doesn't hurt, but like he could, being the chief of police, like handle him. Like I feel like certain police officers would probably lose their cool, but for the fact that he is like able to kind of keep his cool and just sort of empathize with this kid who's just a kid and has like missed his girlfriend again for over a year now. It's a good touching moment, because it's like he's in a way fatherly, even though he's not Mike's father at the same time, but he's still trying to like put out that guardian type of like protection and trying to console him. Like, and he says, it's all right, kid. It's all right, kid. And it's just like, it's a very good and like touching moment.
Yeah.
Well, not to mention, it's
Definitely.
like he it's kind of like a moment of growth for him, because you remember earlier in the episode when him and 11 had the big fight, they blew up at each other, and then 11 literally blows up the inside of the cabin. So rather than him raising his voice and kind of escalating almost to like Mike's level, he's learned how to like disengage. And I think his little near-death run with the tunnels helped kick him into gear a little bit there as well.
Yep.
Yeah.
Yeah. And as we kind of talk about like Nick's physicality, you realize he's pushing Hopper and punching him. It's like a 2-year-old punching me.
Yeah, I know.
I
Like,
mean,
it's
even
not
Finn
phasing
Wolfhard
him.
now. Yeah, even now. The way this kid looks now. So
Yeah, just like, that's like funny. Like again, like in a realistic movie physicality. I mean, David Harbour, looking at his stats, the guy's 6'3". I mean, easily pushing. Come on, what 230, 240? It's
Oh yeah.
and right now he's like preparing for Hellboy, I believe, right? Somebody said it in
Yeah,
back.
well, at the end of the episode, they made a good joke about him going on a diet, which was him prepping for Hellboy.
And then
That's funny.
you know what, actually that's a great dad daughter kind of joke, I feel like, because my dad would probably react the same way knowing but I also, you know what, I rewatching this, I'm like, Eleven's a little shady to Max. Not
definitely.
shaking her
Yeah.
hand.
A little.
She's mad.
Cold-blooded.
Alpha female.
Hi, I'm Max, and just walks right past her.
You're hugging my boyfriend, you bitch.
That was so
There-
uncalled for.
It's
It
okay.
was.
It's okay. They reverse course on this decision real quick in season 3.
That's true. They're little. You know what? I get it because she doesn't know who this chick is. And the
Yeah.
last time she saw her, she was roller skating around Mike. So for all she knows, this girl is Mike's little side piece or something.
Yep.
So that's for the worst. So I get it. So the group is all here. We've got Mike, we've got Dustin, we've got Lucas, Max, Joyce, Hopper, Nancy, Jonathan, and Steve, the babysitter.
Oh yeah, also Joyce hugging 11. The first time they've been on screen together this entire season.
Oh, that's a good point. Yeah, because she's been hidden the whole time. What's up, Sassy Sasquatch? Sassy Pants?
What's up,
Happy
Sassy?
Friday.
Gay.
Hope she's feeling better. Yeah, you're right, Blue. It's the first time. The last time was she's probably thought 11 was dead too, as well, because the last time she saw her was the pool.
Yeah,
with
and it's like, and even because remember in season 1, like Joyce was still has that mama bear figure, and she was there with her going on. Remember the salt water in the bath, and they used to have a connection,
scene.
and you see her crying right there, like, "Hey, I miss you, kid. It's been over a year."
Yeah. It's a very touching reunion. I will say there's another aspect I liked about this opening scene is when we get to it, Nancy and Steve's scene while they're looking for additional heaters, like basically Steve telling her like, it's okay. We're done. It's all right. Don't worry about it, Nancy. You should go with Jonathan. And then circling it back to when he sees her at the dance and you could see how upset he is in his eyes. But from the last season, spoilers, not spoilers, it kind of feels like Nancy wants to get back with Steve from what I remember from season 4, but we'll see.
Yep.
Like she's bored of just walking all over him, guys.
She bounces back quite a bit.
She does between the two of them.
Well, I mean, teenage girls are like monkeys. They don't let go one branch without grabbing onto another one.
And a branch can be very metaphorical too.
Oh
God. Oh no.
I mean, I did date identical twins in high school, so I guess.
You are a monster. Holy shit. They make TV movies about that, Nadia. God, Jesus.
Oh, I thought I've told this story before.
Yeah, you have. I've heard of it at least
It gets
once.
worse every time we hear it. Like we just keep remembering that you're a monster. God.
They were Civil War reenactors too, and one was. For
I
the
mean,
North, one for
I don't know if that's. I don't know how that mitigates your. I don't know if that makes it okay, but I mean.
Ew.
Oh,
I had a ghost.
Good God.
Yes. Sorry for delaying. Derailing, guys. And I got a ghost. Jane,
That's awesome.
You can't fuck with them.
These are pretty.
What a good guy Chris is.
You rock. Little thing. Oh, thank you.
Oh, look at us. We're so happy and in love. Get fucked.
I'm just here to make everybody else look bad.
He said he did it to make you all look bad. No, I'm kidding.
Listen,
That's a low bar, Christopher. That's a low bar, my friend.
My girlfriend is comfortably asleep in the other room right now with her 2 cats. We're fine.
Nothing wrong with that sketch.
Chris and my 12-year anniversary. I'm here streaming, so that was very sweet of him. It's also probably because he's going to be picking up the Switch 2 next month, and then probably want me to look the other way.
Yeah, I'm waiting, but people are bitching about the price and like, inflation is the thing, guys. It's 2025. You can't be complaining about prices if shit goes up.
We were the last to get the last pre-order for it. And
Yeah.
not even like the bundle. Anyway, okay, let's get back to the fucking show. So this is the gate that 11 has to close. So they've decided they're going to be splitting up in groups. So we've got 11 and Hopper heading back to the lab to close the gate. We have Joyce, Jonathan with Will, and Nancy heading to the cabin with a bunch of heaters because the plan is looking at the Mind Flayer as a virus to basically burn it out of him, like have him sweat. And then Steve was supposed to stay back with the rest of the kids to babysit, but they decided to have a plan to kind of distract the Demodogs that are overtaking the lab to help with 11. Thank you guys. Happy anniversary. Thank you, Cinnabeer's Fish. You did not have to. Thank you so much. And then I see Zach's. Aren't you supposed to be on a date? Aren't you supposed to be on a date, sir? Thank you both for that. And then let's see. Where's my really sad video? Not sad, but
Hold on.
and Zach's hit my super chat goal. Thank you, Zach's.
What's up, Zach?
I have to. I'm counting Canadian money, real money. So thank you so much for you, sir. Oh, thank you guys for all that. 12 years. 12 years. It can. You can make it happen, guys. It can work. All right, back to this. I'm sorry, I got distracted for a second. I have a neighbor who has a very small dick. He likes to rev his engine at all hours and different times of the night. So
I was like, where are you going with that first sentence? Nadia?
because he's he'll do it like at 3 a.m. He's got he obviously has to make up for something. So he has definitely a small dick. So they're split up into different groups of it. And this usually happens. They usually reunite and then they split up and then they reunite at the end for I think that's a common trope, right? Amongst them for this series.
Yeah.
Yeah. I'd say
Split everyone up on multiple side plots for the whole season, bring them back together to share everything that they've learned, split them up again to execute master plan.
And thus the formula has been repeating since season 2 here for 3, 4, and 5.
Stranger Things, yeah.
And thus Netflix learned how to construct all their series to maximize their watch time.
Yep.
Every single one.
Let's split up the season.
Ghost is very good. I recommend it.
What flavor do you get?
Sour pink lemonade.
Ooh.
Okay.
Yeah, they're a local here in Vegas too. I'm been applying for them.
Nice.
Give me a promo code, Ghost.
Do it.
Do it.
We don't want Mario to get a gamer subs. We need something unique.
Mm-hmm. You don't want me going over to Monster, do you, Ghost? But
No.
I pulled this up for you gentlemen on the screen because of Mrs. Wheeler, hot commodity in the bathtub.
Reading that book.
Reading that book.
It was like a romance novel, right? I think, or is it?
Yep. It's like who's the guy with the long blonde hair that's very common for romance novels?
Fabio.
Thank you, Fabio.
Yeah.
It looks like Fabio on the base of it. She's reading a book while her useless husband is just sleeping.
God, I literally yelled at the TV and my girlfriend was like, "What are you yelling at?" I'm like, "This fucking dude is so useless. He's such I mean, not that he needs to wake up so that he can go flirt with Billy, but I mean, at the same time, it's like, dude, he's just such a useless piece of shit."
I mean, as funny as it would be to have like a scene where Mike's dad feels threatened by Billy and decides he needs to square up. We forget. You forget that we've established he's an NPC, and because if he's an NPC, he's not in range of the main cast, so his programming kind of shut off to save power. He hasn't rendered in yet.
I mean, honestly, at this point with this dude, I feel like he would just like watch and just be like, "Good job, honey. Way to go."
He'd be like, "Who's at the door?" And she'd be like, "Nobody." And he'd be like, "Oh, okay." Go back to sleep.
How does he not? He's literally sitting there in the corner by his front door. How does he not hear the doorbell ring?
It's the sleep of the fucking worthless NPCs. Like they're not activated to do any NPC shit, so they don't care.
Well, we get Billy showing up at Mrs. Wheeler's house. He's still looking for Max. If you remember episode previously, his dad went a little hard on him, and he had to cancel his date and go find Max. And this led him to the Wheeler house. Just first, I was like, maybe Mrs. Wheeler was the date that he was trying to get. I mean,
he definitely bookmarked that for season 3.
That's true. That's true. That's. I told you that's Toxic's favorite clip.
This is where the seed was planted.
Yeah.
Yeah. I get it, Toxic. It's okay. It's okay. We don't judge on this stream. So he's not much.
I thought it was interesting that he says that he went to the Sinclair house first before coming to Mike's.
I thought that was interesting too, because I'm like, wouldn't you avoid that house, you racist? Like,
no, you got all backwards. It's because he's racist. That's the first place he thought to look.
Right.
Yeah,
right.
Get it over with, you know.
And it had to mean that he was that nice enough that Mrs. Sinclair gave the Wheeler address to it. So what are we doing?
Do you think he was nice to Mrs. Sinclair?
That's what I'm saying. Like, he probably was nice to Mrs. Sinclair. That's the only way he could probably have gotten the address for the Wheeler house, or like where Max might be, because it's alluded that the Wheeler house is like the party house for the kids. Not a party house, but where everybody goes to hang out. I mean, I could fix him.
He's eating them cookies too.
I bet he is.
Delicious.
It's amazing how much a bad boy with washboard abs can be fixed by random women, as long as his abs are washed. It's always proportional to how much.
I won't judge what he does. He can do whatever it's fine. It's fine. I won't judge. Yeah.
Also, just watching him walk away too, and she's staring at his ass like, God damn.
Me too. He's of age. The actor is of age.
The actor is.
He's 18 in the show. Thank you. He is 18 in the show.
Okay. Cool.
I have just so we're clear.
Yeah, just so we're clear.
Just so we're clear, reverse that for a second. Then
I know. It sounds bad, but I'll pull my woman card. There you go.
Nice. You do that.
What happens in the 80s stays in the 80s, okay?
Yeah. 80s never worried about anything. This is the scene. This was very weird yet touching.
I did like Dustin and Popper. He's like, yeah, Demodogs. What? Demodogs. Yeah. How's it helping us right now? I thought it was badass.
It helps because he's trying his best.
So irrelevant, but I loved it.
Yeah.
I mean, it worked. Everyone else calls it Demodogs.
That's pretty badass.
Sound pretty badass.
How important is that?
This is Dustin being Dustin.
It's perfect. And then we get these two finally figuring out what they're not together anymore. Figured it out. By the way, and we'll get to it, Jonathan is such a pussy. I am sorry. This is my stream. I can call it. But watching again the exorcism and watching him like, oh God, and like curl himself into Nancy's.
Him give up, and him give up and be like trying to stop the exorcism mid exorcism before it's actually done, and Joyce having to step in and be like, no, let it finish, blah blah blah. Like, bro, like you're what a bitch.
Might as well just had him pass out.
I also wonder too if the stakes would have been darker for the show, because they're worried about killing Mind Flayer's army, and if they die, Will's part of the army. Will dies, and it would be it'd be kind of a. Not that I want the kid to die, but it's like, what would you do? Like, okay, if we close the gate, he dies, but we keep the gate open, keep him open, then everyone dies. Like, fuck. Imagine if that was like really darker with that,
That's a good question for the panel. What would each of you do? Would you kill Will, close the gate, or would you keep the gate open and try to save him? Well, okay, Toxic, I get you. Kill.
Okay.
Nick, sketch.
Yeah, it's Oh, sorry. Go ahead, go ahead and sketch.
I mean, you do everything. You try. You say you try to save him if you're out of time, and they get lucky here. I mean, do they get lucky, or is it just because the rest of them stepped in at the right moment and just everything worked out for him because it's a TV show?
Yeah, it's obviously like they weren't going to kill him off, so this was a little bit of like the plot needs to happen coincidentally with each party that's involved in order to preserve young Will's life.
Yeah.
Because like he already went through enough in season 1 from like being completely absent and abducted, so for him to just have to go through it all again and die would kind of be a little harsh. Now I know some people probably wouldn't care, but like, yeah, well, we've seen worse in other shows or movies, but I don't know if it's luck though. I would probably say it was just more of a coincidental timing more than anything. Like, and when I watch this again, you know, because it's just, they're going off of fictionary, and I get that the show is fiction too, but they're going off of like potential D&D like spells, right? Between things that are linked together, but nothing else is potentially come up with as well from the same universe to counter that, aside from like severing it. It's like, well, how do you know it's actually true? Like, we're going off of something that is a, you know, fictional tabletop game. Like, it could also not be true. So it's sort of like, let's say they were late with this, right? Like, would he still have died, right? Like, they could have gone that route and be like, oh, actually, this had nothing to do with what we came up with or what we thought it would be like from D&D. But I get it. They want to make it a part of that. So that's why I think everything just conveniently happened at the same time. I'm okay with it, though.
My opinion is the same as Aliens with Newt. You leave the kid behind. Come on. Sorry. Close the gate, save masses, let Will go. I'm sorry. You know, sorry for your loss, Joyce, but the kid's gotta go. The kid's gotta go. But I understand where everybody's coming from, but I am also, like I said, in Aliens, the whole time I was watching, I'm like, why are you protective of this fucking kid? Like, there's aliens chasing you. Throw the kid as bait and then get the fuck out of there. So,
damn.
See, now I actually disagree with that. I actually disagree with that, you heartless person, you. Because, like, she had a pretty good chance of saving Newt. Like, she still had a window of time, and she had just lost her daughter.
I watched the cut that I didn't know that. So, I did. That was not provided. That would have been... Would it have changed? No. Leave the kid as bait and get the fuck out of there.
Yikes.
Okay.
Note to self, do not be in a hostage situation with Nadia because she will sacrifice you.
Good Lord. Listen, I'm sure, you know, women instincts, if I saw a child, my instincts would be protect the child. From a fictional point, as a movie-go watcher, I'm like, every man for themselves. Like, what if they ended up not burning this thing out in time and she ended up closing the gate before the Mind Flayer was burnt out? Then he's gonna die anyway. So I don't know, just my opinion on it. But you know, it could change. This is a very loving moment that between the two of them, father and daughter. I think this cemented them being father and daughter.
You know, I watched this episode like literally an hour ago while I was getting ready for work, and I'm thinking like so much. I do kind of now see the problems with season 3, and because so much of this stuff that is established and done correctly here is shit on in season 3. I didn't realize, and it's specific to Hopper. It's really not against anybody else.
He becomes the butt of the joke.
Well, not only that, but like this whole like understanding with 11, you know, my daughter's gone. I've sort of adopted you. This is why I'm so overprotective. And then in the season 3, he can't express himself, and Joyce has to tell him to do it in a letter. Also, the way that he dealt with Mike, like, you know, Mike was obviously just a little kid who was frustrated and upset, and in this like really stressful time, Hopper took the time to just be like, look, kid, I'm sorry, you know, it is what it is, you know, and de-escalated the situation. Whereas in the next season, he literally is like threatening him just for being in the room alone with 11. So it's just like a lot. I do get it now. I do get, you have to, distance and time lends perspective to your outlook and the way that you see things. And in this way, I do see like, okay, look how level-headed and competent he is in this situation. And look at the way that he's such a, like blow his stack at any small inconvenience in season 3. So
could it be though that here the bond and the relationship wasn't established till this moment, and season 3 just, you're a little bit more into time. She's growing up, she's becoming a teenager, so he's navigating being a single father and the hormones, and he knows what teenage boys are like and stuff, and he just may be flying off the handle because he is now officially like her father.
Yeah. Well, I'm hesitant to make a firm judgment call on it right now. I'm just saying what I noticed on the most recent rewatch. When we get to season 3, maybe I can speak more intelligently on it, but I do feel like maybe there's some validity to what some other YouTubers like the Critical Drinker has said. Like it sort of assassinates a lot of the good work that was done with Hopper's character up to this point. Because season 3, there's not the huge amount of time in between season 2 and season 3. So it's like, why did he, regress into this, goofball, like I'm going to blow my top, like Yosemite Sam at every little slightest inconvenience and things like that. So, I mean, I guess I can speak more on it when we do the rewatch, when we get to it. But, right now I am seeing the seeds of that. And I'm almost wondering, were there different writers from season 2 to season 3? Like, did different showrunners or writers pick up the narrative, and they just, for the plot, just decided to make him a blow my top, Looney Tunes, joke of his previous self? Like, is that it? Because they do course correct it in season 4. Without jumping too far ahead. But I mean, this, like, he seems very grounded and reasonable. He's a tactician. He's making sound judgments. He's keeping the kids under control. They're doing a 3-pronged attack, which is something he would have learned from the military, being in special forces. They're attacking the Mind Flayer and the Demodogs on all 3 sides, which is exactly how you want to attack a superior adversary. So, like, and I know that was his plan. So, all of this stuff speaks of a lot of intelligence, and yet we get to episode 1 of season 3 and he's acting like a freaking goofball. It's so weird. I mean, I don't know. Maybe I might be way off base on this. Maybe you guys disagree. I don't know.
I don't.
Same writers.
The 3-pronged attack wasn't exactly Hopper's plan. He wanted everyone else to stay behind while he went and handled it, basically on his own.
Yeah.
I'm not sure.
It was the kids themselves kind of came up with the idea to lure the dogs away.
Yeah, because
I feel like
help a party member. It's a D&D thing too.
No facts for sure. I do feel like, well, I mean, that's what it looks like to me. Maybe I'm just assigning too much of my own personal experience to it. But I mean, they are attacking the enemy on 3 different sides, and like a coordinated attack all at once, and it just speaks of something. I know, maybe I'm looking too deep into it, and it's not really that deep.
Well, because Hopper wanted to do the lab with 11. Joyce was the one that thought of burning the Mind Flayer out of Will, because she's like, it's like a virus. What do you do? Viruses don't. He likes it cold, right? So and then the kids, when everybody left, was like, hey, we should go burn this area of the tunnels up so that the Mind Flayer sends the Demodogs to them and kind of clears the way for 11 to do it. But I understand where I will be intrigued to see, because this will be my first rewatch of season 3 when we get into it, to see the difference. I know usually he is the butt of the joke further on in season 3 and 4 usually. Yeah. But I find like the whole interaction with him and Mike, from what I remember, just being a normal dad to a teenage girl who has her boyfriend over. I mean, he's navigating being a dad to a teenager for the first time. It just felt normal to me. Like, really? Keep the door open. Yeah. Shit, my dad. Keep the door.
He threatened to kill Mike in season 3.
I feel like that's every dad. when you have
how
a-
much they say.
when you have especially
I
when you
mean,
have a daughter, like a surrogate
All
daughter
right.
that came back after you lost your first
All
daughter.
right.
There's
I
also
mean-
like,
Okay.
who knows? I mean,
Not to
I'm
mention-
not a father, so I don't know.
Not to
He's
mention,
definitely
everyone
being
observes
protective.
how much everyone observes how much Mike and 11 are spending time in that room together, and they're all just like, "This is a little excessive. Someone should do something."
As soon as they figured out how to, never mind. They're children.
No.
Never mind.
No.
Never mind. But I found this moment to be very touching. I found this, again, like I said earlier, this is the moment they become father and daughter. This cements the bond right here for them. I think throughout this whole season, obviously with it being the finale and such. This is where the kids decide to not listen to babysitter Steve, King Steve, and who gets his ass beaten in this episode. I completely forgot about that.
Yep.
Where they decide, hey, we got to help a party member. We should do the whole tunnel thing. And Steve's like, absolutely not. You guys, I am to watch you guys. You're not to leave my sight. We're going to stay here. We're going to wait to see what happens. We're on the bench. He's using like sports anthology.
Yeah.
Not anthology, but you know what I mean. I watch hockey. That's fine.
Bingo.
Yeah. So while they're waiting, this is when Billy shows up. Oh, that's a beautiful thumbnail right there. Beautiful hair.
King Steve.
King Steve. These kids, man, I can't wait till season 5. I can't wait to season 5 to see the difference of what's going on, how they're going to address them aging too and stuff.
These adults.
Yeah.
Mm.
Because it's supposed to happen right after season 4, the timeline of the story. So they're not going to be jumping a couple years ahead.
Weren't they going to jump a year?
I thought it was supposed to be like a year.
Is it a
between
year?
them.
I think it's a year, but
Okay, even a year. They
yeah,
all
even
look-
then, like kids at that age, like in high school, like, I mean, it's a noticeable difference at times. Like, so, like I'm sure maybe, like Steve might still look the same. Joe Carey, he might still look the same, but all the other kids are going to look completely different. I mean, we already know what like, what's her face, Millie Bobby Brown looks like. So she looks a lot older than she does now, as 11. So unless they do something like with her makeup, then I mean, I'm sure a lot of the kids will probably have a lot of touch ups. Could be wrong though. Could be wrong.
There was season 5 set photos of the kids recently, and I was like, "There's no way." Here we go.
Because they're officially done, right? Yeah, like Will looks a lot older.
Yeah, definitely.
Mhm.
Like
Yeah, even
I mean,
Dustin.
Dustin, yeah, is a noticeable difference. Like you could still see that like childish face, like in his like eyes, but like
Yeah.
Doesn't
and maybe
have the baby-
hair
the baby
too.
cheeks are gone.
And they're
Finn
all gonna
Wolfhard, which is Vex's favorite character, or actor, I should say. He still looks the same.
Yeah.
Vex, I don't know if you're gonna watch this, but how does Finn Wolfhard look here to you?
I didn't play the Stranger Things stinger in the beginning. That
fan.
just man, I've been off on my own rocker for it.
Lucas, honestly, Lucas still looks the same age-wise as he is in season 4, from what I remember. So, because like in season 4, he looked like he actually matured, because he's playing, varsity basketball now, and so
Finn Wolfhard looks like if Ellen Page or Elliot Page started to do roids, that's what he looks like a little bit.
I don't know
Well,
who Elliot Page is.
They also released this one behind the scenes. Dustin's is almost as tall as Steve at this point.
Yikes.
Yeah.
Damn, yeah.
Yeah, so this is going to be interesting to see how they'll like establish the differences with them, because like you can de-age, you can use makeup to make them look younger, but
Right.
I mean, I know even in season 4 watching it, they pretty much for 11, like they binded her chest a little bit to kind of bring back things a little bit, make her look a little bit younger, boyish for the age. But it'll be intrigued to see how season 5 plays. I'm excited for season 5. I know a lot of people aren't, but I am. I'm
looking forward to it.
I'm
Yeah,
looking forward
it'll
to
be
it.
fun.
I hope they do a reasonable time jump to make it look right.
1 year.
Oh no, are you serious right now?
That's what Nick and Sketch said. 1 year.
Bro.
Yeah, I'm pretty
Like,
sure that was
so far.
They should be in like
officiated.
1997 by the time we see them again. The way these kids look, like it's crazy that they're thinking about.
But they also have to balance the fact that the Vecna split the town in half. So now the town, even though they're all in the known of like the supernatural, now the town has to deal with this big chaotic like split down the middle, and then all these
I could write
Demodogs and
that.
stuff.
I could definitely write that, like a 10-year like quarantine on the town or whatever, and they're all battle hardened and had it
like
or even 5 years.
Yeah,
Facts.
Whatever
Like
it's called.
Go that direction, like go all in on it. Why not?
This is from an article from November 2024 via Screen Rant.
You share it in the private
so apparently Netflix, maybe I don't remember this, but apparently Netflix revealed a Stranger Things teaser that said it's 18 months after the events of.
That's still not enough.
Not
Yeah,
enough.
year
For
and a
how
half?
old these kids are. These kids?
Yeah.
They're all adults at this
Dude,
point.
Millie Bobby Brown looks like she should be doing like MILF porn at this point. Like that's how old she looks. Like it's crazy.
Well, because she's a smoker, that's why. And whoever does her makeup doesn't do her makeup according to her
not
age.
well enough.
No.
Not well enough. And her smoking probably has affected it. So it's 18. Wow. Stranger Things 5 will definitely be ending the series while the characters throughout trying to keep Vecna from merging from the upside down in the physical world. This was teased in the final shot of season 4. Major characters can be seen on the hillside watching the dark cloud descend over Hawkins. However, the 18-month time jump indicates 11 and her friends' efforts will take quite some time, potentially transforming elements of their town in the meantime. Okay. I'm not hating this idea if they want to jump in and then involve the town a little bit more, the trailer will tell us. Once we get a trailer.
Yeah.
I'm hoping the trailer sheds a little bit of light on where that's going.
Mm-hmm. I agree. All right. So your king gets his ass beaten here by Billy. Because the kid, he's like, she's not here, man. Okay, then why is she looking at me through the window? I'm like, come on, kids.
Busted.
Busted so bad.
Damn.
But I
kids.
will, this. I've been looking forward to this fight. I think they have another one in season. Don't they have like another face off in season 3?
No, but there's a trope where Steve gets the shit kicked out of him in every season.
They make,
Steve,
they make a whole point out of it.
They do fight him when he gets possessed in season 3.
It's just that Steve's not a part of the crew that's dealing with him when they're in
No,
Yeah,
in
he's
season
not there.
3,
No,
he is busy getting the shit kicked out of him by the Russian operatives.
Yeah, and drugged. Don't
Yeah.
forget drugged.
Heavily drugged.
Shit, did he see us? No shit, he saw you guys.
It's a very kid thing to do.
Yeah. Did he see us? Did he see us? Uh-oh.
Boom.
Let's see a fight.
What a surprise, Lucas Sinclair.
And he's pulling the same shit that his dad pulled on him on Max. It's obvious with the, what happens when you disobey me and stuff. So he uses Max as the punching bag he wishes he could pretty much do to his dad. I will give it to Lucas. At least he stood up for himself.
Yep.
King Steve. I almost thought he had the upper hand because this is my first time watching it for the second time.
He had him for a while there until he grabbed the plate.
Hey, he did grab a plate and bash my head with a plate, so he wasn't fighting man to man.
Oof. And all his aggression out on his dad, out on Steve right there.
Yeah, Steve got pummeled. Like
literally.
Oof.
It's that one line leading up to this, I've been waiting to get a load of this King Steve everyone's been telling me about.
Well, like, you know what's
Hey,
also
Paul.
interesting is when Steve punches Billy right outside first. Inside, right? And like it was outside where Billy kind of taunts him again. So I told you, about your footing, right? And so it's like automatically he catches Steve off guard, but Steve punching him a couple of times in the kitchen, but Billy is just taking it and it's completely unfazed, and it's like, oh yeah, this fight's not gonna go too well for old King Steve here, because if he's throwing punches at Billy and Billy's just eating them, gobbling them up, nom, 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 and going like, all right, my turn, and just starts going pop, 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 pop. Like,
well, this might be a dark interpretation, but like considering how abusive his dad probably is, like Billy's probably learned how to just like lead the punch and soften it,
Oh, 100%.
Yeah.
100%. Like,
ooh, that's dark.
He's probably been punched worse. So like what Steve, being his age, throws at him is like nothing compared to what he's used to or has experienced before. So
well, plus all the stuff that Steve's been involved in up to this point, getting in fights, has probably been like one punch to the face, some teacher or administrator breaks it up, and like that's it, if it even was that. Whereas Billy has been battle hardened and like, he's gotten his shit rocked multiple times. I mean, he didn't get that body just from, like he wasn't just blessed with it. He's been like working out, he's had, where Steve is in decent shape or whatever, but like Billy looks like, a fucking Marine. So, I mean, he's had situations where someone has kicked the shit out of him. So, and another thing about like guys like that, and I know this because I'm a guy like that, when you meet other dudes and other dudes are in the realm of alpha males, you automatically size them up. So you already start looking for like hamstrings and weaknesses you could take advantage of if the occasion arises where, you got to take them down. So
100%.
Yeah. I agree. Women, we don't do that.
Do women just
No,
assume other women
do.
are just
No, but
complete
you
like
do.
bitches or what?
No, you do that, but you do it in a psychological manner in which you size up the other woman and you decide what's her mental thing that you can take advantage of later on down the road, or what her body dysmorphia or whatever, something you can use against her at a later date. You guys do that, you just do it in a different way.
It's the subtle
Yes.
looks that you guys toss between one another that men don't pick up on. We're just completely oblivious to it. They're like, do you see how she was looking at me? Like,
Yeah.
Did I see what?
She was
Yeah,
looking at
Oh,
you.
the worst
see
thing you
that?
can do
I'm like,
to a woman in a group is disinclude them into anything. So, like, say you have a group of 4 or 5, and then like 4 of them decide to like exile one of them, but not actually, just by subtle things, not actually telling them. That's
So like
the worst.
YouTube. So it's like YouTube then.
Yeah. Well, YouTube is to me a just high school all over again.
Yeah, that's it.
Sometimes
You're
it
not
feels
wrong.
like.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Plus, Nadia, also women's prisons are actually a lot more dangerous than male prisons. So, like,
Because we're sneaky.
in that theory, there's more stabbings and assaults, we'll say, in a sexual nature in women's prisons than male prisons. So, women are more dangerous than men in that aspect.
Because you don't expect it. Because when you look at a woman, you don't expect, even another woman doesn't expect that. But
Well,
you
I
know,
think
it happens.
what he's alluding to is that in women's prison, like women are always in some sort of relationship with another woman, and so
I
there's
watched Love
always-
After Lockup. I know. I
Yeah,
know.
so there's always a fight over something like that. Whereas dudes are just like, if it's not dope or commissary money or something like that, like there's really not a whole lot going on in that realm.
Well, there
But
is
also-
a little bit of that in the men's side of things, because like isn't like wearing your pants like below your ass a sign that like you'll do things in order to bum like a cig or something?
You think that because you've never been to prison, but that's actually really common. It doesn't.
That's
It's
what I'm
not
saying.
just.
Like, is
it's
that
not just the
what
punks
that means.
Yeah, it's not. It's not just the punks that do that. Like if you're in the like Florida State Penitentiary, like everybody that's like hoodlum, they like wear their pants hanging off their ass. It's some kind of gang member status symbol. It has nothing to do with being a like the punks like wear makeup and shit. Like they do that to advertise.
Well, men also, when you guys get into scruffs and stuff, you upset with each other one day and then you're bros the next day. Women,
Facts.
we don't do that. Women's we are vicious. We will torture each other for weeks and days and sometimes not let people
Because
back in.
you guys have that rule of 3, right? Like if there was one more female YouTuber in our little circle, like you and Vex would hate her. Like that's how it has to be, right?
Nah, I'm not like that. I mean, I'm the oldest of 8 and we're all girls down to my brother. So like I've always been around women the whole time. And I don't do the rule of 3 kind of deal.
But you acknowledge
actually,
it exists.
I don't know if it I don't know. I mean, I have female YouTuber friends outside. I mean, other than Vex, I've got
Well, let's just take Stranger
5.
Things. Let's bring it back to Stranger Things. You've got 11 and you've got Max. There's no third person. Then you've got Nancy and you've got Ethan Hawke's daughter. There's no third person. Robin. There's no third person.
I mean, there are different age groups, right? So I think that's where it works out. But I think if you did have like a third person of the same age, then you could potentially like.
I would submit to you that 11 and Max do not fuck with Dustin's girlfriend. Like they don't fuck with her like that. Like she's still kept off.
But
to
she's
the
long
side.
distance.
Yeah, she's still long distance. Yeah, because like if I remember correctly, it's who is it? I forgot who that goes to her where she is in that ginormous like crazy house. It's like Mike.
Isn't it in Dustin?
And no, Dustin doesn't go. Because Dustin's with Steve, I think. Yeah, it's Dustin, Lucas's daughter. Oh wow, Lucas's sister that are with Steve and Robin. And so I think it's just the others that end up going with.
It's Mike, Will, and Jonathan.
Yeah, there we go. Yeah.
I mean, in high school, I was part of a trio. We're still friends to this day. So I don't know if that's anyway. Women are vicious. Let's move on. This needle is fucking vicious too. That got stuck in the side of his neck as well. That thing's huge. I hate needles. I don't. Blue.
Just the only needles I like are the ones that have ink that goes on your skin.
I fall asleep during tattoos, but because I have to have an infusion every 4 weeks and I have to have an IV, even though I'm so used to it by now, it's still I can't look.
I just demand that penicillin be on the end of my needle. That's all I need is a little bit of that.
I'm allergic to that. Surprisingly. Yeah, it sucks. So Steve gets the shit kicked out of him. Billy gets unconscious from whatever was in that syringe that Max decided to stab him on the side of the neck, and the kids decided they're all going to go to the tunnels and move forward with the plan of burning it to distract the Demodogs, with Max driving her brother's car.
Zoomer.
What is a zoomer, by the way? Is that like a term for something?
It means you go fast. It means you go fast.
Speed demon, I believe, isn't it?
Yeah.
Okay. Because I was like, wait a minute, Zoom didn't exist, so they're not Zoomers like in the generation of kids who got brought up during COVID on like Zoom calls with their teacher.
Yeah. What is the definition of Zoomer? It's
Maybe
not Generation Z.
Well, I think
Generation
came
Z.
up with the term on the spot for the show back
It's
in the
Gen
day.
Z. It's Gen Z. That's exactly what Zoomer means. It's
But
Gen Z.
but for this being the 1980s, that doesn't apply.
Did someone say Zoomer or?
Yeah, Max says,
That's what Max
see,
said.
Zoomer.
Back when she was talking to Mike for the first time and she's trying to get into the party, they're using D&D terms. She's like, I can be your party. Look, Zoomer. And she just rolls around on her skateboard.
That's got to be some kind of obscure gamer thing from the 80s or some shit.
I'm looking at Reddit. It says a Zoomer is defined as a party member who can move very fast.
So it's like a speed demon. I remember
I'll buy that.
Yeah.
Okay.
We would call people Zoomers when we were used to street race because we had fast cars. But
That's why you come to this stream, everyone, because we will look into this obscure terminology and we will get it figured out for you.
Tell you what
Stay
it was
around for the
before the
jokes,
internet.
though.
We let you know what it was before the internet corrupted it.
That's always the
Yeah.
problem.
Yes.
With slang is also generational, or it depends on where you're from. It's like what a word in New
That's
York may
true.
be different
It's like-
than that California. That's why I try not to say slang, because in some ways, some people it's compliment, some people can piss them off.
All I'm saying is, if you read a crime pulp from like the 1920s, you'll never look at the word goon ever
Yeah.
again.
Right.
Yeah.
What blue collar means to say is he will only use he will not use it unless and until we're watching something like Reacher, where there's a New York personality, and then all of a sudden
people say,
it's gonna come right out of him.
What's different with accents? It's like, well, people from different, parts of the country have accents, but it's like certain words still mean things. It's like people nowadays, I don't know, there's so many just like modern 2025 TikTok slang words. I'm like, just stop saying this
Yeah.
shit.
Yeah. Unless you see like a majority of people like saying it like in a video game or something along those lines, where like, it's just something that anyone from anywhere across the country would say, like that's kind of a potentially safe bet. But yeah, still, I agree. But there might be some things you still can't say regardless because of, people taken out of context.
Very cool. Very cool.
I like the progression of Hopper here. Like, he's been down this road before. He's gone down there and done this shit. So he's like, I'm not fucking around. I'm bringing an M16, fucking shotgun, my pistol. Like, we're going in hard as we go in there. And I also like the juxtaposition of the fact that even though he is Mr. X Special Forces, have gun will travel, he knows and is aware of the capabilities of 11 at this point. So he, he does take point in a lot of areas, but he also is, he looks at 11 almost like a partner in this. Like, it's like buddy cop thing. Like, I got guns, you got mental psychokinesis powers. Let's rock this shit. Or at least that's how I read it.
Yeah, we got to handle this thing once and for all. So like, there's no reason to hold back, right? So you bring as much as you can, get the job done.
They're on the same wavelength.
Yeah.
Same
They have an
wavelength.
understanding.
Mm-hmm. Oh, poor Steve.
Poor Steve.
Poor Steve wakes up with a bunch of middle schoolers still.
I think
One
this is
driving
where
a car.
I think this is where we cement the whole Steve as the
Babysitter.
the babysitter trope. I think this is like where it like really takes hold, is that like he's, like whatever else is going on, he's in charge of these kids. He takes it seriously. Yeah, he's been knocked down, but he's going to pick himself up, and he's going to make sure these kids are okay. And I think this is where people really started to kind of fall in love with Steve. I mean, I can't speak, I don't know. Is that how it was for Chris, Nadia? Is that how
Chris has never seen season 1.
This is season 2.
I know, but Chris has never seen season 1, so he's never seen how Steve has started. Season 2 is where he was introduced to Steve. He refuses to watch season 1. He doesn't want Steve to be tainted for him. So this is probably, I would probably agree. This is probably where King Steve has cemented himself as king of the kids and the babysitter for them too. Which, to be honest, I don't hate this trope for him. I don't, because he fits it well. It works.
No, yeah, it's great. No, it's good. It's
especially
good.
the chemistry with him and Dustin. It works. It's like kid brother, older brother, especially towards the end. Dustin like spraying his hair and stuff to look like Steve's.
Yeah. No, it's great.
Oh, this is where I'm just like, grow a pair, Jonathan.
Right.
For
This
fuck's
is where we
sake.
find out Jonathan is a bitch. Like, you're a bitch, Jonathan. You might be a nice older brother, but you are the weak link in the chain. I wouldn't be surprised if Jonathan dies in the last season. He really is the weak. Like, what has he really done that's been helpful to the cause in the entire series? I don't think much.
Especially because I think they focus more on Nancy than Jonathan in the last 2 seasons that we've had, 3 and 4.
Yeah.
Jonathan's almost like her sidekick the entire time.
Yeah.
He always just seems to be there to provide the one missing puzzle piece for Nancy's mystery that she's going on.
R.I.P. Bob.
Yep.
And Bob
Hashtag justice for Bob. Oh, Bob.
Justice for Bob. Hold on, I gotta put that in the chat. Justice for Bob, y'all. Light it up. Do I have a lighter? No, I don't. Okay. Justice for Bob.
Do you want me to go ahead and
Man.
fire off a couple rounds into the ceiling, do a desk pop, or no? Probably not.
Don't do that. Don't do that. Yeah, Jonathan. It made me reevaluate what I remember from Jonathan and Nancy's relationship into season 3 and 4, and made me think like, I think the only reason why she hooked up with Jonathan is probably because it's like first crush, first love, because they grew up together, right? And probably just like the will they, won't they? And then when she finally got a taste of it, realizing like maybe this is not the person I want to grow old with and spend the rest of my life with, or
listen,
whatever.
I'll defend Nancy's growth into a professional gunman all day long, but her personal choices, yeah, I'm not standing with her on that shit. You know, like she makes some horrible choices. You know, she faked every orgasm with Jonathan, like every single one, like was, you know.
I don't know. Jonathan could be swinging something big in there. We don't know.
Well, if that was the case,
usually
Steve
the quiet,
wouldn't have.
ones are.
Listen, Steve is alpha widowed her, so you know he wouldn't be able to alpha widow her.
Well, here's the thing, right? Like, didn't Steve take her V card, right?
He did indeed,
and she left him. So maybe the bedroom manager just wasn't good with Steve, and she's like, you know what, it's better with Jonathan.
Sweet summer child. Just tell me you have less than a dozen under your belt without telling me. That's just how women work, bro. That's they get, you know.
Nah, I can guarantee you. No.
Maybe the women
I can guarantee you.
It's always that answer. It's always the women you mess with toxic.
Yeah,
like,
all toxic. Maybe you're messing with some toxic women.
Well, that's certainly true.
That's why he's the lord of it.
Yeah.
Yeah. No, that's certainly true. But at the same time, two things can be true at the same time.
Steve is a selfish lover first.
Agreed.
Depends.
Agreed, Jake.
Yeah. All right. So they're all getting ready to go down into the tunnels and hang out. And I thought Dart had died, but it was very interesting that he came back towards the end.
I did too. Until I saw Dart's actual death scene, I actually kind of just assumed the same thing. But yeah, that's okay. You know, listen, that's fine. That's one of those like throwaway, like blink and you miss it scenes that, you know, it lends enough, you know, verisimilitude to the scene. So yeah. I'm good. I love this. You know, God, man, Paul Reiser, you totally redeemed yourself from Aliens, in my opinion, in this series. Like you're total Burke. You know what I mean? Did he not like really just you feel bad for him? And like, you know, it's a situation where I know it's a different character, but I can't disassociate the two. Like he's so great in this, you know, and you really want him to be okay, and you really root for him and stuff. I'm glad they brought him back for season 4. I hope they bring him back for season 5.
Did anybody, when watching this episode, get alien vibes throughout the whole thing?
Oh yeah,
100%. No, the Demodog hordes are 100% based on an alien vibe.
Yeah.
Oh, even the Mind Flayer, even seeing it again with the xenomorph kind of head shape.
The silhouette is straight up a xenomorph.
Listen, it's okay when if you have an 80s genre TV show done in the 2015s and 20s and stuff, and it's, you know, you can steal from the other 80s great thing. It's totally fine. Like we know they still steal from Stephen King and Goosebumps and Aliens and this and that. Like it's fine, and Creepshow and all that stuff. That's fine. That's what it's there for. Like, so when it happens and you recognize it, it's more of like, aha, it's like the Leo DiCaprio, you know, Once Upon a Time in Hollywood pointing at the TV thing. It's like, oh, that's what that one is. So yeah, no, it's fine. It's totally chill.
I do like the scene too, because Hopper is getting 11 a normal life out of this, basically telling Dr. Owens, like, if you want to make it out of this, dude, you better pony up with what I need, you know?
Yeah. He's picking a good time. It's like, hey, I just put a tourniquet on your leg so you don't bleed to death. Let's do a little quid pro quo right here, big guy. But again, this is so smart and so intelligent and so forward thinking. It really shits on it in season 3, because it's like in season 3 he would have just screamed at him and you better leave her alone, and you know, I don't know, just like this is I like this version of Hopper the best. This is my favorite version of Hopper.
Do you think, though, I think Dr. Owens would have given 11 the freedom even in a normal situation, just by his demeanor throughout this entire series, especially like his protectiveness of Will and like wanting these kids to survive
It's hard
this.
to know. It's really hard to know,
not to
isn't
jump
it?
too far ahead, but at the end there, after he gives Hopper the birth certificate, he's like, I'd still lay low for like another year.
Yeah,
Mhm.
because it's not
Like-
just him, is it? It's like, you know, as we learn in the next, not in the next season, but the season after, we learn that, you know, there's other entities just as equally, you know, embedded in his whatever, you know, government stuff that can, you know, mess with this should they choose to do that. So it's just like, he's not omnipotent. He can't, you know, he doesn't control the whole infrastructure with it. So yeah, I mean, it is that.
Paul, season 5 is releasing this fall, I believe, 2025. We should be getting a trailer during Memorial Weekend for it. So we're going to be covering the rewatch up into the new season, and then we will be, and for the new season, because of how long each episode's going to be, we're going to do it episode by episode. No putting two of them together. So thank you for joining us on the ride. Jake from State Farm. I'm surprised these kids succeeded so fast. Looking at it, like no hiccups. Yeah.
Didn't
I was gonna say, like, the plot needed to happen.
away.
You know,
I really hate to say it, but each season has that real formula of all the main characters are fine. The ones they add into it are fine. Then there's that one random, very popular character that they pop in that kind of gets sacrificed to the Stranger Things gods, you know, and it's tragic and it sucks and it makes everybody cry, but it happens in every season.
Well, I was kind of thinking this while watching this as well. Did anyone else get the impression that all of this was kind of just being like going like by really, really quickly from like the time they set up like what each one of them is going to do for a plan to when it actually gets finished? Like,
yeah, I'm okay with that.
Not to beat a dead horse here, but like if they didn't have all that stuff in episode 7 that they focused on, could they not have? If this was like 2 episodes long,
I mean, maybe
could they have flushed down, thrown a little more obstacles at them?
I hear what you're saying, and I don't want to overtalk, but I mean, I think like in season 4, that whole preamble, the MTV music video slow-mo, you know, stuff that they were doing to get ready to go fight Vecna. I feel like I don't really need that in every single you know, I don't need an entire half episode, full episode, or three parts of an episode just to, you know, like we're on our way to fight the bad guy. It's okay for when it is in small doses, but I'm okay with this. Like, I mean, you might be right, and maybe that's why it's kind of seemingly rushed here, but I was okay with it, especially today, because I was trying to get this episode watched before we did the rewatch. So,
I mean, don't get me wrong, it's totally fine, but I wonder if just like in the tunnels there, like you're saying, like they basically get there with like no resistance once they're
you're right.
there. Like,
no, you're right.
If if they had used a little bit of their time a little smarter, would they have been able to put like a few?
But
more
then
things
what
in
would
their
you
way?
have? What would you have had? Then you would have had like a 2-parter where like, you know, like they're spending the whole time in the tunnels and stuff like that, like, and you know, split up amongst that. I mean, is that what you really want?
I mean, maybe like one episode's dedicated is just part of like the first episode is just them getting into the tunnels, kind of like Hopper did. Then what would be the final episode is just all dealing with traversing the tunnels. I don't know for sure.
I don't know either.
I wonder,
just because like trying to juggle like 3 different like plot arcs going on simultaneously means you would have like a lot more time to kind of like flesh them all, keep them all, prolong them just a little bit more.
I wonder with episode 7 would have been better as a. Do you know how some TV shows will go like a season and then they drop a random episode between seasons just to kind of keep the interest alive and then they continue? I wonder if that would have made more sense to did something like that if you wanted to introduce those new characters and see if it would be worth doing the spinoff instead of putting it in the season, because we all agree episode 7 doesn't give anything to this season. Like it doesn't. Even with 11's arc and like getting her power, you know, she ups her powers every season. So there could have been a different way to write it. I think it took away from her impact of finally meeting her mother too.
I agree. Yeah, no, I don't know, man. Like if they don't pop back up, if that little, you know, punk rock group with the, you know, Vision girl doesn't pop back up in the last season, then that's gonna go down in history as like one of the dumbest, like side quest
offshoot
bullshit.
episodes. Yeah.
That's gonna.
The IMDb rating will go down a whole extra 2 points. It'll be the only episode under like a 5.
But if like Nadia has suggested, if it does pay off in the end, then that could be, brilliant.
And
I'm
they
okay with
could.
that.
Well, we'll see.
I mean, they could have brought them back for season 5 as a cameo, or the end battle where, they're doing something similar to this kind of structure where they're all split up and that group is doing something to help the other groups while 11 is like taking on Vecna or something to that degree. If they wanted to do something like that,
I am
write
all
it off
for
completely.
it. Yeah, I'm all for it if they pay it off correctly. I'm totally for it.
In season 4, we see flashbacks of other children too, as we learn the origin story of Vecna. So there is potential to have other children with abilities, and if they did want to bring that group back, it would.
I mean, Nadia, you might have just touched on what the actual twist will be on that. I mean, it could very well, from a writing standpoint, that could very well be what it is.
I kind of see them coming back, and then their little punk group being like, one goes with Will's group and one goes with Dustin and Steve and one goes here, and then the two sisters head off to fight Vecna, and then her sister kind of gets injured or can't do it, and then 11's the last one. I mean, it's typical arc writing, like that's like predictable in my head.
They did it in season 7 series finale of Buffy, and it worked brilliantly.
That's true. And people are emotionally connected to these characters, so it could work by splitting up that group and just kind of adding them a little bit here and there instead of having an episode dedicated to them. Yeah. But I also wonder if people are going to be like, who the fuck are these people? And then go back and be like, it was that one episode.
It would definitely have to be a situation in which they pop back up in some kind of way previously to, instead of just randomly coming in at the 11th hour. Like they're gonna have to do something to pay it off, but because you're right, it has been so many years, like it would make a whole lot of sense. But who knows? I don't know.
This is a good point. What if Vecna corrupts her sister and we get a sister duel? That could be like the
That'd be cool.
boss party.
Yeah. That could be cool.
Interesting
fight kind of deal.
Yeah,
there's so much they can do with it because of the power structure that they've given Vecna.
Netflix, are you paying attention here on Horror with Nadia? We are coming out with bangers here.
We got a whole writer's room right here for you.
Yes.
An entire group.
We will write the
spin-offs. Grab everything that you've got right now.
We know what we're doing. We know what the people want, Netflix. Pay attention.
We will write all the spin-offs for you.
Yes. Okay. They're going through this process too of the exorcism. It's not working. It's not working, Mom. Are you listening to me? That's how it sounds to me.
I thought you had just played the clip. I didn't think that was. I didn't know that was you. That was
it's not working. It's not working, Mom. Are you listening to me?
I love petty.
How is
Nadia.
Nancy like so stoic and
that should have dried her vagina right up for like months. He's like nothing should have been going on down there.
Don't you see? She liked the emotions that Jonathan was providing her in this moment because he cares about his younger brother.
I have never
He's
known
an artsy fartsy dude. He's not into sports.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. Like he's not the jock. He's completely opposite of Billy and Steve, right?
He's emotional. He's in touch with his emotions.
Yeah. Maybe that was a thing in the 80s, but I can tell you it's not a thing now for sure.
What are you talking about? Most women who are on birth control like boys like this. It's like I don't know what to tell you. It's like I believe scientifically fact. Don't take it. I am not a doctor, but it is a common thing to know that women who are on birth control, especially throughout college and such, tend to like more feminine type individuals who are more in tune with their feelings. And then once they come off of it, they want like the big, like what I have, a big Viking bro dude who likes guns.
Sure, Nadia. But here's the thing. If I was a fisherman, I wouldn't listen to what other fish tell me about how to catch other fish. I'll just go by my experience on how
Sounds
often
like you're scooping a lot of toxic fish over there. Toxic.
Yikes.
Like, I'm just saying from your experience.
You're right. It's all my fault. I got you.
It is completely.
I got
You put the energy out there. What you want back?
I got it.
Okay. You know what? I'm with you guys. I think this season finale should have been a bigger two-parter, because not even in the tunnels, I wanted a little bit more of the lab. Like, I feel they scooted through the lab pretty easily.
Yeah.
There was nothing. I've heard that before too. Comes to Dr. Nadia only by internet.
I wonder if they scooted through the lab in this episode because of what happens in the previous episode. Like
where she like murders 5 people by popping their heads. I feel like people forget this.
Yeah.
Everybody's like, oh, 11, poor 11. Nobody remembers in season 1 where like 5 soldiers or guards and she boop, 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 boop,
I mean, you got to admit, they had it coming, though. I mean,
the dudes probably had families, kids to get home to. They're just
listen. Everybody's got to listen. You don't think like that in combat. Everybody's got a family.
I know.
Fuck them.
But my point is, everybody thinks 11 is like, she's got these abilities, but she's like this innocent little thing that, uses her to fight Demodogs and Mind Flayers, not realizing like she killed 5 people in the first season. Like, probably more because she flipped a van over 2.
Yeah.
She got the diner dude killed inadvertently too.
Yeah.
Yep.
Here's Hopper deciding. He's like contemplating, man, there's like a ton of Demodogs. All right, we're going to do this. And at this end, plot armor, kids lit up everything and these Demodogs disappeared. So they were able to, oh, look at that. That is great. Even as CGI.
Yeah.
That's pretty good.
Super
Probably like makeup and then CGI over it. That's pretty cool. That's creepy. Very Venom-like.
Yeah.
Venom-like. Yep. These guys. I want a Demodog as a pet.
Listen, buy enough Ted Nugent or 3 Musketeers bars, you'll be set.
I don't like 3 Musketeer bars.
You don't need to eat it. You just got to leave it out for the Demodog.
I'm worried.
Candy trail. Ooh, piece of candy. Ooh, piece of candy.
Do they still make nougats?
Ooh, piece of candy.
Do they still make them?
I think so. Yeah.
They're all under like the same like umbrella company, right? They're all like PepsiCo or whatever.
I love it.
This is a great scene, great shot right there too. Especially, I will give it to them. The tunnels, I believe, part of them were built as like set pieces for them to be in there, but obviously most of them were CGI'd in the background, green screen, and they look pretty good.
Yeah, they look excellent.
Well. Very good.
What do you think, Blue? You are my CGI go-to guy.
Yeah, CGI looks like you said, the show, certain times like you feel like the show's cutting corners, but whenever it's the opening and the finale, they put a lot of detail into the finale, and like you feel like they're blowing all their budget on the finale.
Awesome. Yeah. And as each season picks up too.
Yeah. Which is smart. Like even like when I was talking to our friend Lance with that Godzilla show on Apple, it wasn't the best show, but they're smart. Godzilla and that show looked better than most $200 million films, but they're smart. Don't have Godzilla in like 15-20 seconds per episode, but those 20 seconds look like it was filmed in IMAX, but they couldn't show 5-minute Godzilla scenes. You only seen them very sparingly.
I'm sorry, I was muted.
This is what having good storyboarding and a good team of communication between your director and your cinematographer will do for you guys.
Yeah.
Yep.
Also giving them time to do it too, not rushing them in between to get like seasons out super fast. Like to me, the wait between season 4 and season 5 is that's a bit of a stretch. And I get it. Yeah. They had COVID, they had a bunch of issues. Sure. Whatever.
Blah, blah,
but like,
blah, blah, blah.
I'd be willing to wait 2 years at max between seasons if I knew the seasons were going to be high production, good storytelling, and it was going to be fun.
Yeah.
Or if we were going to get a decent amount of episodes where, like, didn't we just have this conversation last night on the Last of Us stream? Like, you're going to do a bottle episode, candy episode, whatever you want to call it, filler episode. Like, you don't have that luxury with a 6, 7, 8 episode, season. that you're going to make us wait a couple years in between. Like, bro, like you don't have it like that. Like it wasn't that long ago we got 22 episode seasons for like genre shows and stuff. You know, at a minimum like 13, 14 episodes if they were like mid-season replacements or whatever. But like this 6, 7, 8 episode bullshit, and then we're waiting 2 or 3 years, and it's like, dude, come on, man.
Well,
It's
to be
ridiculous.
fair, to be fair, though, episodes back then were not like literally like movie length at a time. Also,
To be fair, I will stack any Buffy or Angel episode or Banshee or any of those shows up against any of this stuff any day of the week and twice on Sunday. Like, there's,
I'm
but
not
those
saying
shows
that
had a
makes
lot
it
of.
means it's better. I'm saying it just means they got a lot more stuff they're trying to cut through.
But those shows also had a lot of filler episodes too on top of it. Between
I'm not
Buffy,
so sure that they
Supernatural.
did. I'm not.
Oh yeah,
100%
Well,
There was
no,
no-
they what they definitely do. Like me and my girlfriend's been having me like going through like the entirety of like the Criminal Minds backlog because there's a new
all right.
season of like Evolution coming out. There's like 15 seasons there. We've hopped through like picked out like handfuls of episodes from each one. Like and like we skipped over at least like 80% of it and still made like a coherent like narrative.
Right, but like Criminal Minds is like I'm not so sure that's one, that's not a genre show, and two, I think that's what's that term where it's going to always be playing somewhere on multiple different channels or streaming services. What's that term called?
Are you talking about not the replay, but when like episodes like Friends and
Syndication?
Seinfeld?
It's always
Yeah.
going to be in syndication. Like Criminal Minds is in syndication. It plays on multiple different channels at multiple different times. You can watch it at like you can literally turn on the TV right now and Criminal Minds is playing someplace. A genre
Law
show.
and Order SUV.
Right, exactly. So I'm not so sure that's a great example, although I do concede the point that, you know, yes, that does happen, but I can count the filler or candy episodes of Buffy and Angel on two hands with a few remaining, and
Per season or per series?
per the entirety of the show.
I'm going to call bullshit on that one because I remember watching Buffy as a kid, and there were a couple. It's just similar to Supernatural too, like Monster of the Week episodes. You get a little bit of the main storyline.
Supernatural was like 27 seasons. That's not a comparison.
Even in the beginning, when we were rewatching it too, and I've rewatched Buffy and Angel, and especially Angel 2 had a lot of filler episodes because they would have like your core story of what the season was going to be like, and that would play out towards the beginning and the end, and then in the middle they would have one or two. Even X-Files, watching it for the first time, they had filler episodes, and they're like 22 episode seasons as well. They're Monster of the Week.
I understand those types of shows. Yeah.
And they also had like set pieces that were there at the studio that they would utilize. They had the same writer's room. This takes like a ton more stuff to get stuff done, and doing 8 episodes. I mean, you might as well say these are movies in a sense. I mean, season 5 itself, each episode is going to be a movie, about an hour and a half each episode.
With season 5, that may be true, and I'm not willing to like die on this hill, but I do think that somewhere between the early 2000s and where we are now, we've lost something. I think
we've lost the whole like where a show would be on spring, take a summer break, they'd be back on fall, or vice versa kind of deal. I mean, the last show I watched that did that was like Superstore, but even then I think the first season was maybe about 20 episodes, and then they went like 13 episodes and stuff. I don't think people are I don't want to speak for everybody, but I just don't think people are interested in it because I think we're so used to the cinematic kind of budget, such as like Game of Thrones, Stranger Things, I don't know what's Last of Us. Like we're so used to that now that that's what we're expecting.
She-Hulk.
I mean, I don't watch Disney. Sure.
I'm kidding. That was a joke. Nobody laughed. I thought that you guys would find that funny, but all right.
She-Hulk.
I think the biggest problem is just now production values. Like back in the day, like comparatively, Buffy would say be like a low budget show, and like Xena Warrior Princess, Xena could pop out 25 episodes because watch Into the Badlands AMC and then watch Xena, massive difference in fight choreography.
Well, I mean, I would argue that Xena and Buffy's two very different things, and Buffy literally got moved out of the WB because it was too expensive.
Yeah, but
Yeah,
but
'cause they
nowadays,
moved
but nowadays CGI also takes a lot more time than back in the '90s and these shows. I mean, like I said, Xena, if you look at Hercules and Xena, like seeing like a Hydra or Harpy versus nowadays, it takes these guys a lot more time to render this shit. So we're seeing a lot more shorter episodes because then you just pump out episode and do some cheap little stupid snake CGI. Now these guys are dumping 200 million into making fucking 8 episodes because there's so much CGI they're using now.
Is it
And
or
even though-
is it possible that they're laundering the fucking money? That's because that's what Enzo keeps telling me, and I'm inclined to kind of believe him.
Well, it depends again. Like
People's
look at,
attention spans too.
well, if you look
have
at the
shrunken.
CGI again, I've seen certain Apple shows versus Disney Plus, like the Godzilla show, for example. That looks
Sure.
that looks fantastic. Or even HBO, Netflix. Certain CGI I've seen on Netflix is just it's dwarfing Disney. But also this why these shows take 2, 3, 4 years because there's so much fucking effects now.
Yeah.
No, I agree with that. I agree with that. Sorry, audience, that we went off on a tangent there. I blame myself.
No, what seemed like Walking Dead. Walking Dead was very at the beginning less CGI heavy. It was just zombie makeup, so you can pump it out. You know. Then if you want to have these big, massive, like 10,000 zombie battle sequences, that's gonna take a lot longer to render that shit.
No,
There's a
you're right.
reason why one of the seasons they were at the farm for so long, and people don't realize this. The production actually had run out of money or lower budget for that season, so that's why that is one of the more painful seasons. I haven't seen it past a certain
Really?
point,
To be
yeah.
fair, that's one of my favorite seasons, actually.
But you notice like they don't go anywhere; they're just in one set location,
I'm
which
okay
is
with that.
cheaper and
I'm
stuff.
okay with that.
But that's why they put all their money into the other seasons, and then they're like, "Hey, we need to keep the show going, so we're going to kind of cut down a little bit for this season." Even you notice that there's less zombies in that season, other than the big final reveal at the end and such. But it's crazy. Okay, I'm kind of. We're getting towards the end. So 11 is closing the gate using her abilities. The kids lit up the tunnels. They are heading back, and this is where we get the reunion with Dart. Oh, also, I saw Paul's question up about the kids. Yes. So, Paul, earlier on, Nick found out it's an 18-month jump from season 4 to season 5.
Yeah, they're gonna have to fucking pull some Rogue One de-aging or some shit on this. I don't know what they're gonna
Pretty
do,
much.
but like these kids, they're like, dude, Lucas looked like he was a freaking MMA fighter in the last season, and like, you know, and we've already talked about, and I'm not trying to, slut shame Millie Bobby Brown or whatever, but I mean, she looks like she is in her 30s, like, she's been living rough.
It's
I don't know how the rest of them are gonna look.
Yeah.
It's smoking.
She has
It's
aged.
Well,
just
smoking will
cigarette.
add 5 years on the spot right there.
Yep,
Minimum.
that's why. Sometimes, it's exactly it. It's smoking too. So Dart is chomping a nougat and lets the kids bypass.
It says goodbye to him.
Yeah, sad.
But I mean,
I knew-
Dart, to his credit, Dart didn't murder them. He could have.
Let him pass while he was eating his nougat.
I mean, I guess maybe Dustin, his sacrificing his cat paid off later on.
I love this with the shadow. I know it's CG, but the shadow of the Mind Flayer behind the gate, and seeing how massive he is too, the size difference as well.
Yeah.
That's great. It's very intimidating. And then we get
I do like the fact that
flashbacks.
it's like she's doing it, but she is really fucking straining right now. Like, that's her powers.
flashbacks of when she was at the lab.
And plus, in her and Hopper, she's still scared. It's like she's doing this, but you can see the fucking fear on her eyes. Like she's going against this being that's way different than just one Demogorgon.
The Demogorgons are after the kids, so they are figuring out. And I will say, plot armor, just like we said, when they run by the kids, because 11's about to close the gate, so they've redirected back to the lab, and they run past. None of them attack Dustin or Steve. They just like run like cattle around them. I thought that was convenient. I would say.
They've already done the thing for the season, Nadia. They've already killed off the one character they're willing to kill off, so everybody's safe at this point.
Yeah,
I have a
Bob
theory
deserved
that
better.
they're gonna bring back Eddie. I have a theory that they're just.
They are not bringing back Eddie. You are.
I think they are. I really do. I really do.
Are we
think they're
betting?
bringing back
Do you want
Eddie
to bet? Do you want to bet?
because I don't want to bet. I don't gamble, but I will say I think they're bringing back Eddie because Eddie was an extreme fan favorite. Like they were not. There's been interviews of them. They did not expect it. No, I think they are. Either they're going to bring him back, like Hook said, Zombie Eddie, where he's in the upside down, and he's because we don't see a body. We never see a body.
Yeah, Character Zone is dead so long as the fans want him to be dead.
Yeah.
But we never see a body from season 4.
Yeah.
We never
No,
actually
even-
see him
even
die.
like
I'm gonna clip this and I'm gonna play it again.
That's
Dude,
fine.
So when the
And then
time
when
comes-
and then when he comes back,
I will.
no flashbacks. I don't think No, I'm not counting
Wow.
flashbacks. I really
Well-
legit think in some form Eddie will come back. That is not flashbacks.
You think like he's going to be like
Maybe
Like a
surviving the upside
lieutenant?
down or something.
he's a force
like
ghost.
he's going to be like turned into like one of Vecna's helpers now? Yeah, you know.
Eddie is coming back as surely as Barb is coming back. So it
We
ain't
don't,
happening.
but we see a Barb body. We don't
Well-
see an Eddie body though.
Bruh.
there is a theory going around that backs Nadia up right now based on the episode list that we've gotten. That's all I'm saying.
All right.
Force
Time will
Ghost
tell.
Eddie. Hell yeah, Hook. I think
There we go.
okay, this is how I would write it. It would be typical. Eddie survives, but he gets stuck in the upside down, right? He can't crawl out like everybody else. So he becomes like a survivalist in the upside down. So they like when they go down to the upside down to kind of maybe do their final off with Vecna, or they have to go in there for some reason to get something, they run across Eddie, who's just like adapted to this world. Anyway, that's one idea I had. But yeah. He's coming back. 100%. Eddie's coming back.
Poor 11 just straining. Like, the power. Nose is bleeding.
Besides, he's Johnny Storm. They're gonna want him in this because it's gonna bring eyes back onto Stranger Things. I'm saying.
All right.
Yeah, Hopper's got his gun, just killing demon dogs left and right.
Demodogs,
Yeah.
demon dogs.
Doing
Pretty
his best
well,
to keep
too.
him off.
Like I was watching his usage of guns and stuff. I was like, oh, he's pretty good at it.
Yeah.
Pretty good.
I like that
Imagine
he
that.
follows the he follows the
Believable.
classic Call of Duty 4 homage of like, remember switching to your sidearms always faster than reload, and he just drops the assault rifle mid reload because one's lunge jam and just whips out. The
I mean, I
shotgun.
don't know if that's in
Okay.
Call of Duty, but it's definitely doctrine. in
That
the military,
it's
so.
popularized because it was in the COD 4 tutorials. Everyone remembers that one line.
Wow, it's accurate.
Yeah,
Just
there
to
for a
see
reason.
I romanced. Okay. He comes back though, right? Anybody who's seen season 3, we know that he's
Yeah.
alive.
Season four.
Yeah, season 4. Sorry, yeah.
You're right.
And that the reason why the gate is open, it's basically in a wound. He's comparing it to 11's hardships and like all the
Yeah.
trauma she's gotten through.
Yeah.
I sure hope they don't do a trauma montage in the next season where she relives stuff from when she was a kid, because it's gonna look like she's her mom. Like reliving it, like it's gonna be like, because it is all right. I'm all right. No more. I'm not gonna do that anymore. That's low hanging fruit. I'm not gonna bag on Millie Bobby Brown anymore.
He just wishes that she was as toxic as him. Make it wife number 5.
Number 4. Get it right. Number 4.
Oh, number 4. Sorry. It's number 4.
5
Also,
kids. It's 5 kids and 3 wives.
This problem not a problem, but it's like also 11, you're seeing her basically maxing her powers. It's straining her, but you would theorize as she's getting stronger or older, her powers getting stronger. They're gonna have to hit a plateau where it's like you have to put a limit on what she can do, because if she just can always snap her finger and beat the bad guy, there's no tension there.
I will say that through the course of this season, they've done a pretty good job of nerfing her as the story demands. I mean, you know, if you go along which they've obviously based some of the stuff they do from Stephen King's Firestarter and, you know, Carrie and The Shop and stuff. It's like every time they use their powers, they get little pinhole, punctures in their brain. Is so you could, you know, that's why they get the nosebleeds. So it's like, you know, after a while, I mean, yeah, you can flex that muscle, but if you overtax yourself, you can do some harm to yourself that you're not going to walk away from.
That's what I'm saying from a narrative standpoint. So we have 2 seasons in a row that, like, okay, you could say, well, in all reality, Hopper basically saved her while she's doing this, but the boys and Dustin and everybody, what are they doing? It's like she's 2 seasons in a row, she's doing all the work at the finale. Besides Hopper basically dealing her time, but she's their friggin' Deus Ex Machina.
I'll buy
Yeah.
that. Yeah,
I
I'll
mean,
buy that.
it's a point that, like, and this is the problem when you have a main character that's powerful. Well, if she's doing all the fucking work, then what's the rest of the cast doing then? Because she's literally like none of them can stop this thing but her. So, I mean, and that'll play into season 3 and 4.
That's
Do you
true.
think that plays into the fact that she feels she can accomplish anything until she comes up against Vecna? Like, she goes in too confident with Vecna, and that's why season 4 ended the way it did, with
Could be.
basically
Yeah.
Vecna winning.
It's possible.
Yeah, Vecna. Yeah, I mean, there's no. I'm glad you said that. There's no. I mean, we're not there yet in their narrative, but I mean, you're not wrong. Vecna won season 4. Like, the good guys did not win. I mean, it's very evident. I mean, it's that weird word, Pyrrhic victory. Like they kind of won, but they pretty much didn't, because it's like overall they won like the battle, but they like kind of
The war is not over.
war. Yeah, the war's not over yet, but yeah.
Yeah, because it's like that's gonna be the problem with a show like this. Okay, season 1, okay, the main bad guy's Demogorgon, she kills it. Season 2, Mind Flayer, she kills it. Season 3, if every season is just 11 wins, 11 wins, 11 wins, after 5 seasons, you're like, this is getting kind of fucking boring and formulaic. When it's just new bad guy, she powers up, new bad guy, she powers up.
Mhm.
You know,
Especially if especially if everything kind of boils down to there's a new threat. Survive until 11 shows up.
That's what I'm saying.
Yeah.
You know?
That's a cool.
Yeah.
I don't really count season 1 into this, because season 1 was supposed to be just 1 season and that's it.
Yeah.
So this trope with her for season 2 and 3, I can see that, but I mean, hero's journey, there always has to be a dip right before the big battle, because then it increases the stakes and the emotions into what would be the final battle for it.
That's what I'm saying with Tox said with Vecna. It's like, you know, have Vecna actually beat her, give her a challenge, because if every season all she's doing is just easily killing the main bad guy after so many seasons, like, guys, this is getting fucking dumb. Where all is just this one main character just wins.
Hook said the good guys losing is refreshing. The movie magic bullshit of democracy always wins is so tired. I agree. I agree. I tend to like the villains more in shows and movies. So,
well, you gotta walk that fine line between, like, your villain is more powerful than your hero, so the hero has a struggle, but you don't want to go so far into farcical stuff where the villain is so overpowered that it's ridiculous, and there's no way that the heroes could possibly overcome. Talking to you, Thunderbolts. So it's just like, you know.
Oh, no spoilers, please.
That's why to mention, I do want to hear Thaddeus or Nadia's
no spoilers. I'm seeing it Sunday. Yeah.
Yeah. He's not wrong. As I was watching, I'm like,
my thing is, you know what? I'm gonna let you all hate on it. I want to see it for myself.
I ain't hating on it.
Oh, no,
I know. Sketch. Chris told me what you said about it, and I'm like, you know what? I feel like people are just like, when did movies move away from being just fun and enjoyable to having to have thesis?
Yeah.
No, not you, but have thesis papers about the depth of movies. You see what I mean? Like, there's been a moment where we've lost where, like, movies can be fun and dumb.
You'll enjoy my video then, Nadia. You'll enjoy my video because
I'm gonna watch it after I see it Sunday.
Yeah.
Come back to me after Sunday.
I haven't made it yet. Like, I'm still like editing it right now. But Austin and I saw it late last night, and I was messaging Kada on X because I know he saw it, and I was like, all right, like, who can I message that I know that's seen it? And I know Andrew over at Rippaverse, like, he had posted something saying, like, I'm gonna say this now, I really enjoyed it, and, like, give it a chance. And I responded to him going, you know what, man, you were right, because, like, again, like, I'm not gonna talk about any spoilers, like, Nadia, but, like, there's more to the movie than what people are saying. Like, people are saying, oh, like, they're the mental bolts and all this, like, dumb shit. And I'm like, number one, I don't think people are actually understanding, like, the concepts and the themes that are going into this movie. I really don't.
But that's the thing. I don't think all movies have to have, like, this in-depth 4-hour
No.
essay about what's wrong and why is
Oh.
this. I think sometimes movies are just dumb and fun, and you can go and enjoy them and score them high because your enjoyment for them.
Well,
And I
there's
just
crux. That's kind of like the crux of what I'm seeing now. Is like everyone now the focus seems to have
Look at
shifted
Sinners
from,
as an
like-
example, right?
But like everyone, it seems like the shift has gone from like, no, it's just dumb fun, but that means it's slop. That's the big new term now. Everything.
Yeah.
is
Slop has
slop.
replaced woke. I will say this, Nani, if you are going to bring any and all of us in for a panel discussion to talk about the show and after and kind of get everybody's, I'm down. Like, let me know if I can fit it in. I would
Thunderbolts.
love to hear your opinion for Thunderbolts. Yeah, sure. Like if you want to do
I'm not going to be doing a panel for it because it doesn't fit my. It's not horror, or maybe it is. I don't know. I haven't seen it.
It kind of is
but
though. It kind of is.
I want to see it Sunday for to see, but the reason why, like Nick, I left that chat is just like I don't need. There are certain movies that do need thesis paper, dialogue, paragraphs about a movie, and then there's some movies that like they're like Deadpool and Wolverine, for example, is one of them.
Popcorn flicks.
Yeah, you can enjoy a popcorn flick without it having to be like some kind of
facts.
Oh man, the MCU
Sure.
really went in with like a
facts.
to it.
Like
It's
not
just,
everything has to be Endgame.
We'll see what Sunday says when I see it.
Yeah. All I can say is like, to me, it was like they were trying to do something somewhat serious, like the Winter Soldier movie, Captain America's Winter Soldier, but trying to humanize backups, like backup position. Like you have your quarterbacks, right, or your wide receivers, like in football and sports.
They're the Suicide Squad, pretty much.
Yeah, I mean, yeah, you could call it that.
Wrong.
You know,
I mean,
like
just to relate it to like the comics in a sense, like they're no name characters that not a lot of people know about unless you're a huge comic book nerd and you've read these books. Like,
except for Bucky, like everyone should know Bucky, but
yeah, but Bucky, who should have been
Captain America.
Captain America.
Captain America.
But yeah, this just like a toxic. I don't understand where you're at. Slides down below, then I gotta go. What is this? Oh, is this the
trivia?
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
Okay.
Trivia.
Hold on,
Yeah.
let's get through this because we're at the end. So resolution: 1 month later, Hawkins Lab is shut down. Dr. Owens, and you can dip if you need to, man. I can always pull the trivia.
I can hang. Yeah, I can hang for a few more minutes.
Yeah, I agree with. Okay, it's just some movies like Mission Impossible. I'm not expecting some depth there, but I'm expecting to have a good fucking time, like kind of deal.
Fact.
So
yeah.
But like Sinners, there's like there's depth to it. Anyway, I digress. 1 month later, Hawkins Lab is shut down. Dr. Owens provides Hopper with the forged birth certificate for 11, naming her Jane Hopper, allowing her to live an open life as his adopted daughter. Barb's parents finally received closure via cover story about her death due to like a chemical leak, you know? And then bittersweet moment orchestrated between Nancy and Jonathan as well. Jonathan's a mad puss. I loved this. This was great. With she's just sitting.
Yeah.
I didn't even realize the dude flipped him off.
Yeah, I thought that was funny.
Yeah. I've always loved that.
I didn't catch it the first time, but I caught it on my most recent rewatch.
That's hilarious. Poor Barb. R.I.P. Barb. Justice for Barb.
Justice for Barb.
But Eddie's coming back.
I can hear boss music over the horizon.
I'm telling you,
it's metal.
I guess this scene is supposed to foreshadow that like he's gonna get fat because he starts eating off of his sandwich or whatever.
Well, I mean, he's got a teenage daughter, I guess. Stress eating.
Right.
Yeah.
A teenage daughter who still loves Eggo, by the way.
Yep.
Lego my
Ego.
And then we get the Hawkins Middle School Skull Ball, which ends it with the kids all getting dressed up, you know, after a traumatizing. This is a month later too, but even a month later, just going normal things. Well, I guess that would help bring normality back to their lives.
I mean, I could have done without them calling it the snowball dance. I mean, anyone who's ever watched Clerks, if you know, you know.
Yeah.
And she's got a new cat too as well. And I thought the snowball concluded with Max and Lucas sharing a first kiss, 11 and Mike sharing a first kiss, Steve kind of letting Nancy go finally by seeing her just by his body language. That's what I picked up on. And then we get poor Dustin, who's like who still has a crush on Max, sees that Max and Lucas are together, goes around trying to ask every single girl at the ball. And I wanted to ask the guys, is this how it is?
No.
It's not how it is.
It depends.
Girls just rejecting you left and right.
A certain
Well,
subcategory
some of us.
of boys, yeah.
I mean, I never went to anything like this in middle school. I don't think my middle school had this.
Mine did.
Mine had one.
High school, yes.
So
we had prom,
my
homeschooling.
my middle
Why
school
did I-
did have one, but
oh.
almost nobody was going as like a couple. Everyone was like just in friend groups.
I will say I do like the fact that Nancy sees Dustin, sees what he's going through, and decides to dance. And it kind of loops it back to season 1 because we knew Dustin kind of had a crush on Nancy a little bit.
Yeah.
Yep.
And
Walk
now
him down.
he's-
Wheeler gets all the little mean girls to stink eye her because she's
Yep.
hanging out with Dustin. Because women are simple creatures. We like to think they're complicated, but they're not. All you got to do is have another woman, and that's when women want you.
Not this woman. I cut my
Unicorns-
losses and move on.
Unicorns aside, Jesus.
I thought this was also a touchy moment between the two of these. Because she's still mourning the loss of Bob here.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Well, she hasn't had time to.
That's true, Blue. I didn't even realize that because this all takes place in one night or 2 nights. Is it 2 nights?
Yeah, but he's just eating. He goes from Bob being eaten to to Will still being by the Mind Flayer, and then 11.
Yeah.
Yeah, it all happened so fast.
And then 11 and shares their first kiss. Aww. And everything's right in Hawkins, Indiana.
And they all lived happily ever after.
Until
Wah, wah, wah.
We flip upside down.
and
Until
we're back in the and we get the Mind Flayer.
Until we
The
discuss
flare.
the subliminal secondary meaning of the song.
What is this what is it?
Every
Sketch?
breath you take, every movie you make, I'll be watching you. And here's the Mind Flayer just lurking over him.
Very I didn't even
Good old
realize that.
Sting.
Yeah.
It's so cool looking. I wonder what
watching
it looks
Will.
like up close. Like what kind of texture to it, and does it have eyes, and just it's really cool looking. So that concludes season 2 of Stranger Things.
Nice.
We will get through the thing. So here you go, Toxic. Take it.
When Billy gets the Byers address from Mrs. Wheeler, he takes a cookie from the cookie jar on the kitchen counter. This was improvised by Datre Montgomery, who said he thought it would be, quote unquote, cheeky. It would be a cheeky move.
Okay.
Oh,
sorry. I didn't know
wanna
you had control. No, you're fine. Go.
Okay.
No.
When Steve and Nancy are looking through items from the shed, one of the things Steve picks up are now infamous Christmas lights from season 1.
Ooh.
353 is the number of days Mike called 11 to see if she was alive. If you add 3 plus 5 plus 3, it will equal 11. Ooh, that's pretty good. Matt Duffer and Ross Duffer were nominated for the 2018 Emmy Award in the Outstanding Writing for a Drama Series category for Chapter 9, The Gate, 2017, but lost to Joel Fields and Joseph Weisberg for Start, 2018. I don't even know what that is.
Huh.
During the scene where a dazed Steve wakes up in the car, he looks at Mike and says, "Nancy?" This was improvised by Joe Curie. Add a start at the ball. 11 is wearing Hopper. I don't know why that says add. At the start of the ball, 11 is wearing Hopper's blue bracelet. Oh, that's the one he got from his daughter.
Mhm.
Actors Caleb McLaughlin, Lucas, and Sadie Sink, Max, kiss in this episode. Due to the recurring inability to capture Sadie's reaction to being kissed, the scene had to be reshot many times.
Interesting.
Interesting.
Well, before we go around, do we want to do final thoughts or jokes?
Sure. Can I go first? I really got to go.
Yeah. Final thoughts. Go for it.
Final thoughts. Great season finale. Not a great season. I guess we'll discuss it more when we get to season 3. But I liked it. I liked the 3-pronged attack that they do on the bad guys. I liked all of the character development. I liked, at this juncture, some of the stuff is not tried and true, tropes that have, gotten old by now or whatever. So this is still pretty good. It's not my favorite season by a long shot, but it is a great season finale. This show does know how to do good season finales with good character development, and I'm glad for it. I hope that one-off episode does make a play into the last, but I'm kind of also hoping the opposite. I'm hoping it goes off into obscurity and it can be talked about in many YouTube shows till the end of time, and in 2032 someone's looking back on it going, oh, remember that Stranger Things episode with a bunch of characters that never showed up again? So I mean, that's just as entertaining to me, either way. But great episode, and I like it. I'm excited for season 3.
I know. Well, Toxic, what do you have going on next before you dip out?
Just not a whole lot of anything really. It's a bunch of my friends are doing a bunch of their stuff. I just did a video with Northern English Bastard where we talked about Havoc, and then we did another one talking about freaking what is it? Jesus, my brain's blanking right now. I got a couple new videos, and then we did like the best 10 monologues in movies recently. That's a good one. That's up on my channel. I might be doing something with Jen Sparkles this weekend. That would be pretty cool. And if anybody and everyone is up to talk about Thunderbolts, spoiler or non-spoilery, I'm fine. It was the accountant too that me and Luke just did. Sorry, my brain cramped for a second there. But yeah, if anybody wants to talk about Thunderbolts, whenever, I'm down to talk about that. I do have a few opinions on that. I'm going to try to get my daughter to actually do that with me, and we're going to do the whole thing in Russian accents if we can, where she'll be Yelena and I'll be Red Guardian. But I don't know. We'll have to see. She hasn't done a video with me in like over a year, so we'll have to do that. But thank you so much. I'm sorry. I have real world stuff going on. There was a stabbing at the prison, and my girlfriend's upset, so I gotta let you go.
Okay. Have a good night. We'll see you.
Thanks, guys. Thanks for having me. Take it easy.
Bye, man. Take care. Be easy.
Bye. All right. Nick, final thoughts?
Yeah, and I mean, I think it's the best episode of season 2. If you factor out episode 7, it's a really good season. Obviously there's a different feel from how the first season is because of these split groups, which is, I think, after the season ended, it was a different, unexpected feel, like I said. So it's one of those things where we are now used to it and expect it to happen because it happens in 3 and 4 and probably will happen in 5. And but I'd say for the most part, it worked. And obviously, like, it started to build some really niche relationships from characters that like we never expected to appreciate, to like or love or enjoy. So I think in that regard, like, it did really give us some things to look forward to and to again to appreciate as those relationships grow. Mainly with Steve and Dustin, right? We see that start to blossom, and obviously, like, the love relationships and odd triangle between Mike, Elle, and Will in season 4. But I think for the most part, with the enemy in this season, right? The Mind Flayer being a lot more prevalent and a force to be reckoned with, who doesn't go away after this season. So it's not like, oh, well, it's one and done and on to the next one. Like it is serious. So much that it comes back in the third season. And I think after that point, when we get into season 4, there's questions that I had initially in terms of like, the upside down and who is the big bad. But I guess we'll get to that in the time comes, but, I'd say for this episode, if I had to give it a rating, I'd probably give it like a solid, like maybe 9.5, honestly. Like I really enjoyed a lot of it. Again, it's not perfect by any means, but it's definitely one of those things where there's a lot of good moments that come together. There's, good dialogue. It's obviously a good follow-up from the previous episode, which was emotional because of Bob and his sacrifice, that he made. But, do you want the whole season rate or just this episode?
A whole final thoughts of this season.
I mean, the whole season, I'd probably give it like a solid 8.
Okay.
8 out of 10. I could go a little bit higher, maybe like 8.5, somewhere between there. Again, I think that 7th episode drags it down a bit, unfortunately, like when you add all the averages together. But I mean, it was a good, enjoying rewatch, honestly. So I think it's going to be, or it was easier to watch than season 3 will be. But yeah, it was a lot of fun.
Sketch is going to be defending season 3. I have a feeling.
I haven't watched it since it came out, like you said. So like it's been a while. So maybe my recollection will be reversed. We'll see.
Sketch, final thoughts. You could do episode, season, whatever you want to do, man. Final thoughts.
I'll just kind of do like a global season 2 and us, because I basically agree with a lot of stuff that Nick has already said. Like the back half, the third act of this season is definitely where like it shines, and it definitely like makes a lot of the build-up and the setup that they were doing early on feel justified. That said, I'm still think that it could have been trimmed down and we could have gotten into it a little bit faster. A lot of the newer characters that they added brought some new interesting dynamics to it, but I also just don't know if they went as far with some of them as they could have, which I think they kind of like course correct a little bit with them later on in season 3, especially when it comes to like Billy. It's interesting how much like the core cast also kind of gets developed and how the turns we're about to take going in season 3. But yeah, I think just the beginning couple episodes before things really start to accelerate does take a little too long to get underway. I think they could have gotten into it just a hair bit faster, and then obviously everything about episode 7 yada 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 has been said before. Yeah. All on the whole, I'm feeling kind of like around like a 7 for the season on the whole, just as a summary. But definitely has a lot of positive things in there as well. Like the final episode, like they know how to make a good finale, and for that I can't fault them.
Mm-hmm.
Blue, before you go, just a reminder, everybody watching in the chat, we will still be doing jokes. We're just gonna get through final thoughts, and I have them pulled up. We're gonna do some jokes. Blue, final thoughts.
Share this with you guys because so I can show it to you. This is the Demogorgon. Say.
Oh my god! The leaves the like head leaf things need to be a tad bit longer, but that looks pretty cool.
Considering this was, who knows how much scalp into this?
That's crazy.
Yeah.
So
that's beautiful.
That's nice.
That's the stuff I used to do all the time.
Yeah. Basically everything Nick and Sketch said. I mean, and we all talked about before, like the one episode, in a sense, I'm not mad at them because you can tell was building to a spinoff. Supernatural did that. Supernatural wanted a spinoff. Walking Dead. A lot of these big shows, they want to start doing spinoffs. That's why I'm like a little bit forgiving on it. But as we said, there's so much padding that this episode was fantastic. The opener, I could easily, with my limited technology, shave this down into like 5 episodes and make it perfect. And that's the problem with this. Unlike season 1 was just a straight cool 8 episodes. Mm-hmm. This had a lot of fluff, and this is, I think, the problem with season 3 and season 4. These shows now, they go from very tight shows to like they're watchable, but we're skipping a lot, and that's becoming an issue. So yeah, like Nick and Sketch said, I'd probably give this a good 7. I didn't hate it, but there was more often than not I was pressing the whole Netflix like +10 button a couple times or like on my phone, I'd watch certain episodes at 1.5 speed just because there's so little going on, and I'm seeing all the stuff I would cut out to make a tighter storyline. Not bad, but after how good season 1 is, you have a certain expectation. And as I said earlier, we'll run into this issue with season 3 and 4 that 11, from a narrative standpoint, you can't keep copy pasting the same exact thing where new big bad guy, she kills it, new big bad guy, she kills it. What season 3 and 4 going to be? A new, but at this point, we don't know about Vecta, but you can't keep having her be just like, hey, the kids are there, Hopper's there, these new Demogorgons they're immune to guns and fire, and 11 shows up and does her magic fingers and she kills the bad guy. It gets kind of boring after so many seasons.
Yeah.
You guys are a lot generous than I would give this season a 6 out of 10. I think they are finding their footing in this season. Again, I don't count season 1 with 2, 3, and 4 because season 1 was supposed to be one and done. Just because of the popularity, they then finally got a greenlit for season 2, 3, and 4. So I actually, and with Sketch, I am a defender of season 3. I think season 3 has better moments and better pacing overall. And again, I think I blame it to the fact that season 2 they are just trying to find their footing on what they want to do with these characters. So it's not necessarily bad. There are some, the finale is great, there are some banger episodes in between, but I just feel like there's too much fluff in this season. And again, I think it falls back to the fact they don't know what they're doing. They don't know where they want to take these characters. This has never been planned out. This is not planned out. So that's why I'm giving it about a 6.5 out of 10 on my end. It's not bad. It's just, I think it's the weakest season out of all of them so far.
Yeah, but even some people would say a 6 out of 10 is not a bad, objectively a bad score. And like you said, we all said it. There's so much fluff, and if you would shave down that fluff, Nadia, I mean, you could get a fucking 9 and 10 out of this. Anybody could.
Remove a couple of episodes, maybe condense a couple episodes. Like realistically,
there's so many scenes that drag.
5-6 season episode if we got into the story, and I get it. They want to add for more watch hours. You don't want to put all your cards on the table at once, but but my biggest issue, and I keep thinking back to it, is that episode 7 took away the fact that 11 finally met her mother, like an individual who's been held at the lab against her will, experimented on, didn't think she had parents, finally met her birth mother and her aunt, and her going to Chicago overlooked I forgot what the word is, but basically took away from that emotional impact. Like that should have been a big deal. And I think again, they're just trying to find their footing with this season. That's
fair.
Jokes. All right. Let me write down, because I know people rewatch this that have like Sin's Fish and stuff. I'm gonna timestamp it so they know when the jokes are happening. Okay. All right.
No pressure, Nadia.
No. Hey, I was looking up Stranger Things jokes. I didn't write these jokes, so don't blame the messenger. Okay.
No pressure, Nadia.
Why does 11 love waffles so much?
Why?
She can't Lego her ego.
That would have been good. Overshadowed. Thank you, Hook. Because she loves getting excited. I need one of those.
Yeah.
Okay, hold on. Why did Steve open a daycare?
Why did he do that?
He already had babysitting experience. Why did Will get kicked out of school? Listen, I didn't write these.
Thank God.
Because he couldn't stay present. As in, like, physically present.
I get it.
Oh my goodness.
I'm sorry I didn't create the jokes. It's finished. I'm sorry I misled you.
But you're endorsing them.
Why does Mike carry a flashlight?
Why does Mike carry a flashlight?
Yes.
I don't know. Why does he carry a flashlight, Nadia?
To light up 11's life.
Oh my God.
Goodness gracious.
I'm doing like the Family Guy meme where Peter's like,
what do you call a lazy demogorgon?
A lazy Demogorgon?
A demo sloth.
Wow.
What?
Gosh.
Who wrote these jokes?
I don't know. I don't know.
Where did you
this is
pull
great.
these from? Is this?
I don't want to give my secrets away.
I wonder if AI could come up with a better Stranger
Probably.
Things jokes than this.
All
I
right,
didn't use
Grok.
AI for this. Just FYI.
Grok, get on it, bud.
Why did the gang say to Hopper? What did the gang say to Hopper when he started dancing?
Hop to it.
That would have been better. Dad, stop. It's an 11 out of 10 cringe.
No, mine was better.
Hold on. Okay, hold on. I'm going. Why does the upside down always seem so stressed? It's got a lot on its mind.
Okay.
What's Steve's favorite movie?
Steve's favorite movie. Hold on. Let's all take a guess at this. Let's all take a guess at this.
It's a play on words. You won't. I'm telling you.
Movie. Wait, what is it? What is it? A play on words
Play on
of?
words.
Holy Comet, please come and take us out. Hey, y'all paid for this, all right?
Is it a play on words of the show itself, or like?
You're reading too much into this. Have you
I want to
not
try and
looked through
figure it
any
out.
of these? Okay. That's a pretty good guess, I will say, but it's not.
I don't know.
What is this?
The Goonies.
It is Hairspray Me to the Moon. Nick's gonna leave.
That man's got to be ready for a stream in a few hours. He ain't got time for this.
I got to stream with Leon in an hour.
Poor bastard.
Why didn't Will invite the Demogorgon to his birthday? He didn't want things to get tense. That didn't make sense. Never mind.
Yeah, someone should get punched in the arm for that one.
Hold on. I'm reading through some of these that are way more cringe than what I'm saying. Like this one. How do Demogorgons stay in shape?
They walk the dog. I don't know.
They do beast mode CrossFit.
What does that even mean?
I know,
What is?
What did she mean by this?
There you go, Nadia.
Not entertained!
Are you not entertained? Hey, but I'm giving the people what they paid for. Let's hold on. I'm reading through a couple. They're way more cringy.
There you go, Nadia. Why do that? Why do that? Don't worry.
This is stupid. Why don't Demogorgons wear hats?
Why?
It's
Yeah. Why?
their heads are already terrifying. That makes absolutely no sense. Who wrote these?
Where are you finding these from? Reddit?
No. Why did Hopper open a bakery? To make some Hawkins pies.
My God.
I mean,
chat, do you want more? Do you want more?
Wait,
The
you
chat
can
decide.
throw a few more in there real quick. Hold on.
so I asked AI to tell me some jokes. All right.
Okay. Better?
Maybe I'm gonna just read some off the top here.
Okay.
It gave me like 10, so I'm just gonna pick a random one. Why did Dustin name his pet Demodog D'Artagnan?
Why?
Because Murder Mutt didn't sound French enough.
That's actually pretty better than.
All right, see, that's what we needed.
Wait. What's
Wait. Hold on.
Morgan's
This...
go-to drink, though. I'll give you one, and you give me one.
Oh wait, here's a go. This is actually a pretty good one. What's Eleven's least favorite TV show? Family Matters. Too many questions about her dad.
Why did 11 become a math tutor?
Why?
She's great with numbers.
What's Will Byers' favorite ice cream flavor? Rocky Road, the story of his life.
Ugh.
Oh.
What do you call a sassy demogorgon? A snark flarer.
Snark flare.
Here you go, Nadia.
This is actually kind of cringe, but I want to say it anyway.
Dumb.
Why doesn't Steve Harrington play D&D?
Ooh, why?
Because his hair already rolls a natural 20.
That's not bad. Why doesn't Will use GPS? Other than the fact it didn't exist in the 80s, but why didn't Will use GPS? He always ends up somewhere else.
True.
What? Okay, my last one, and we'll get out of here. What do you call a mind flayer at karaoke night? A showstopper. Thank you. That was cued pretty well. All right, I think I've tortured Chad enough. Thank you, guys. Thank you. Kick Nadia off my own show.
Here you go, Nadia. Pull this up for me.
Where?
So it's Twitter DM that can get.
Oh, hold on. Let me find it.
Let's play this for us.
Okay. What do you mean? Oh, that went way too big. Hold on.
Boo! Boo! Boo!
Hey, listen. The people got what they paid for. You guys didn't ask for details.
We're
You're like,
all
I want to hear jokes.
Everyone here's paying, all right.
It's true.
Yeah.
Oh, I paid for it, all right.
Nick, what do you got going on now?
Well, I will be on Neon Leon for the very first time
Dear God.
here tonight. Just a little over an hour, so should be fun. I'm not sure what he has cooked up. He made a post on X that was talking a little bit about GTA 6 and stuff like that, and John Boyega, and so. But yeah, I'm looking forward to it. And then I'm going to continue working on this video review for the Thunderbolt. So I'll hope to have it out sometime this weekend. I'll give it some time for people to actually watch it. And then Monday, I'll actually be on Isaac 556 his podcast. That's at 8 p.m. Eastern time, right before episode 2 of Masculine Mondays. My stream, if people didn't know that. That we're going to be talking about Goldfinger 1964 with the man Sean Connery. Should be a fun one.
Is that a James Bond movie?
Goldfinger?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Oh, okay.
It's technically the third
I saw a little bit of
movie.
like leave Nick's eyes as I asked that.
This is me. Have you seen the Austin Powers movies, Nadia?
What do you think?
Okay, bye guys. I'll see you later.
Why ask these questions?
So the third movie in the Austin Powers trilogy is called Gold Member, and it's kind of like a dig on Goldfinger.
Okay.
I love gold.
Do I have to know anything about James Bond before I dive into Austin Powers?
No.
No,
Okay.
like
Nah.
they'll do quotes and like quirks from the entirety of James Bond, but like you don't need to know like anything. Like there's a famous quote in Goldfinger that is said in I forget which Austin Powers movie it is. It might be the first one, but he's like, it's like, do you expect me to live? And he's like, no, Bond, I expect you to die. But like, but Dr. Abel goes, no, Mr. Powers, I expect you to die. Like, so it's like line for line stuff sometimes too.
Yeah.
But you won't like be like lost or anything if you don't watch those Bond movies. So
Yeah.
Austin Powers is amazing though. Again, like evergreen, type movie that it still holds up to this day. The jokes are amazing. Like the acting is still fantastic. Like,
it's not horror related, but I did think about having a Nadia Pops Her Cherry series.
I definitely want to cover it on the channel. Like, believe me, like it's definitely going to be on the list 100%. Like, because Austin Powers is a fucking ladies man. He's like, just it'll be so much fun. Honestly, it'll be a good stream for sure. So you gotta sign up for that one.
Okay.
But yeah, that's basically it for the next few days.
Cool. Thank you, Jake, for dropping links in the chat. Sketch, what do you got going on next?
Hey, nothing too particularly special at the moment. Just kind of being quiet back here while I work on a few things behind the scenes. So come back to me in a couple of weeks, and I might be able to share some more light on some stuff I got going on.
Yeah.
All right. Very cool.
In the meantime, I think I'm just gonna sit here and wait for everyone to get back from watching Thunderbolts to pick up my Sketch loves everything and will defend anything position.
Yeah, you actually convinced Chris even more so that we're gonna have a good time on Sunday with it. So it'll be, and we're still seeing it in 40x, so that should be.
Oh, okay.
That'll be interesting, actually.
I hope you like it.
Well, Rossi watched it in 40x. I saw his video earlier.
I saw that. Like spilled his drink everywhere.
I'm seeing like a 9 a.m. showing, so I'm not gonna have like popcorn or drinks or anything. I'm just gonna because you don't need you don't do that with 40x.
No, you just don't.
Yeah.
I have to say something funny that happened last night. So we saw it in RPX, which has pretty good like subwoofers.
Okay.
It's like really powerful. And it's nice like reclining seats. RPX is like Regal, basically. And there's like the tray that slides out like this.
Yeah.
And so Austin had a big bucket of popcorn, and there's a moment in the movie, I'll just say, where something kind of falls down. The big concrete block falls down. And at that same moment, because of all the vibrations, the popcorn bucket also fell down like simultaneously, like perfect, and just spilled all over the floor.
Oh no.
And we busted out laughing so damn hard. I'm like, because people had to fucking walk across it.
That's why with 40X, I learned the hard way with Twisters. You do not bring food or drinks into there, because I watched a lady just like popcorn everywhere, just flying everywhere. So should be interesting. Blue, what do you got going on next?
Not sure. What I was actually texting you guys to say about that Legend of Ochi movie, and I'm just at the point where I saw Thunderbolts, I saw Legend of Ochi. I kind of like making videos and stuff I like versus dislike, but I just been slowing down now because I'm not complaining. But you got stuff going on. Nick does Niat whenever we catch up on Niats. And it just hit a point where it's like, spending 2.5 hours with you guys I'm not making videos, but I enjoy doing this. So I'm putting stuff out there when I can. I'm never complaining, but we're doing Last of Us. Nick's doing a show. I did Leon. I was actually streaming Leon twice this week. Enzo. It's so kind of like my solo stuff's been slowing down, but I'm talking to my friends. But yeah, Legend Ochi, I wish we got more marketing. It was a pretty fun film. And nobody talked about it.
I wanted to see it, but I knew I wasn't going to see it until it streamed. I knew I wasn't going to be able to. Yeah. But it does look like a refreshing fantasy movie for kids.
Yeah,
it reminds me a little bit.
Fun. I mean, I'll talk about more if I make a video, but and then spend more time with my kid and just video games. I just bought actually because Nick's going on with Leon. Expedition 33 has just came out. Just bought it,
Dude,
but yeah, and it's like
so good.
I know, and that's the
I'm
problem. It's
still
like
in Act 1.
we
and
talked
I'm
about,
loving
guys.
it.
It's like so many people. It's just like movies, right? Instead of bitching about Snow White and Thunderbolts, check out Legend of Ochi. With Expedition 33, I spent $50, my hard-earned money. I'm not gonna sit there and have a channel like, hey guys, I blew $70 in Assassin's Creed. I'm gonna bitch about it for 60 fucking hours. Why not have a small independent game like Expedition 33, a good game, promote them? And I am getting kind of sick of the whole YouTube hate, rage, click bullshit. And people, but everybody here, all four of us, we work for our fucking money. I'm going to work at 4 o'clock in the morning. I'm not going to have my audience buy me a free game and then complain about it for 60 hours. I'm good.
Yeah. Thanks for setting me up, Blue, because all right, so the deal with the channel was if I hit 1K subs, I was going to torture myself to go see I'm sorry, Blue. Were you done? I am so sorry for interrupting you.
No,
you're good.
No, I said I like having fun. We're all here to have fun. It's I never want to turn YouTube into an obligation. That's why everybody here said, Nick, we had such a great time talking about Tombstone. It's fun. And boy, we've all seen people and been on channels where people just like they look so fucking miserable.
Or they're like checking their phone or like they don't want to be there.
I mean, I was just checking phone to obviously for you like to download fucking sound bites.
Yeah, that's different than just sitting there.
I'm just not just like, oh, freaking Nick's talking again or sketch.
Yeah. Okay, I'll get back to what I was saying. Okay, so the initial deal was I hit 1K subs, I go see Final Destination Bloodlines. I'm not gonna hit 1K subs by next week. That's okay. I'll hit it eventually. So I'm gonna put a super chat goal next week on Tuesday. I don't know what I've decided yet, but I will go see it if I hit that super chat goal in 4DX.
Nice.
And I will record a before going to the theater and an after theater experience, and then we'll talk about it. So I'm just offering everybody just to know that this is going to be happening this Tuesday on Horror Tuesday. I will also have an announcement for a new show that I'm going to be doing once a month with some other content creators. There's more details about that going to be talked about on Tuesday. May 20th is my 1-year celebration of the channel. So I'm going to be raffling off stuff like that as well. So that should be fun. Next week will only be a Tuesday and a Thursday stream. We will not be back here for Stranger Things. We're going to take the week off, and then we will pick up on the 16th for season 3. And then I also will be on the Doolies on Wednesday to talk about the last 2 episodes of Righteous Gemstone, which,
you will.
by the way, if you all, great, they just invited me. If you all are like, fuck, TV sucks nowadays, and we are going, Blue knows, we're going through this with The Last of Us. Go watch Righteous Gemstones. It is fucking hilarious. It is a good time, and I fucking hate Danny McBride, but I think he's great in it.
Really?
I cannot stand him. I can't stand him. I don't usually, but it just works out. So highly recommend Righteous Gemstones. Tuesday, I'll be talking about Clown in the Cornfield. I'm seeing it early because it'll release to the masses next week. We'll do non-spoilers and spoilers. And then, is Thunderbolts a horror movie? We're going to find out on Tuesday. So a lot of things down the pipeline. Thank you, chat. Thank you to everybody who super chatted for the jokes. Jake, Sin, Zax, you guys are awesome. I will not be anywhere this weekend. I'm going to enjoy celebrating my anniversary with my husband and go do some cool stuff. So please follow everybody on the panel. Chat. Follow yourselves. Everybody should be 1 million subs, especially this dude and this dude.
We try.
So,
well, the algorithm. The problem is the algorithm wants
my subs are offshore somewhere. Don't worry about it, man.
Yeah.
What sucks now is, you see this. The problem is like for a lot of people who hire subs, they're putting out 4, 5, 6, 7, 9 videos a week, and I got to be working 4 hours.
But that's their job.
That's what I'm saying. Well, that's also what I'm saying. The algorithm pushes that. Where it's like, put out more videos. Well, people that got 1 million subs don't have to be to work tomorrow.
Yeah, exactly. And I'm with you. I work a day job too, Monday through Friday. We all do. So it's a grind, but I'm like you, Blue. I love being here. I love talking to my friends. I love hanging out with everybody. And if it becomes a chore, that I will be honest with everybody, and I'll be on my way out. So
take a break.
16th, guys, come back. Season 3. We're gonna be talking about episode 1 and 2. If you're watching this on the replay, please leave me a comment. You can tell me to go fuck myself. I don't care. Just leave me a comment for the algorithm.
Comment your favorite joke about the Upside Down.
Yeah, comment your favorite
Yeah.
Until then, guys, you know what to do. Stay spooky, y'all.